Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. This Galaxy Fold has been out in the reviewer wild for about 3 to 4 days. And we're having problems left and right. And I'm on YouTube, I'm on Twitter, I'm on wherever. And all I'm seeing is first gen tech apologists, Samsung Knight. I'm seeing Galaxy Fold boys. I'm seeing Guardians of the Galaxy. And quite frankly, it's all starting to piss me the hell off. So tonight, I have to go back to the way I used to do things on this live stream. Oh, yes. We are going back to Classic Viper tonight. You're about to get an epic ass Viper rant. But first, turn the volume down. It's about to get loud. Can't believe we're here. I cannot believe that we are here right now. Whatever. Y'all asked for it. Here we go. What's up, people? This your boy Viper, the man about tech, and we are live! Welcome to Friday Night Vyp, baby! Woo! Oh, yes! It is that day again! We are back! We are live on YouTube! Now, I really want to get into it, but no. I'm going to calm down for a minute. Let me see who I got in the chat tonight, baby. Let's go to work. What we got out here? Let's see what we got. First on the list is Jason C. What's up, Jason? How you doing? We got the Apple Jockey. What's up, bro? How you doing? Michael Weston's in the building. What's up, Michael? We got Genosis out there. What's up, Genosis? Mediocre Tech. What's up, dude? My head of security. El Jefe Review. What's up, Jeff? We got, who else? We got Emilio Takis. What's up, Emilio? How you doing, bro? We got Flaw OTS. What's up, Flaw? We got, Crystal White. What's up, Crystal? How you doing? We got, it's Justin, by the way. What's up, Justin? How you doing? Technically T is in the building. Technically T, if you stick around long enough, I'll be shooting you the link. No worries, bro. I got you this week. I got you. Photo Finn is in the building. What's up, Finn? How you doing? Oh, we got the general ranting. Tech Rant is in the building. What's up, Tech Rant? How you doing? We got Juan back now. Oh, my goodness. Some gadget guys in the building. What's up, Juan? How you doing? We got Scooter. What's up, Scooter? How you doing? Tech No Minute. What's up, bro? How you doing? Who else we got out here? Blah, 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 blah. Oh, CJ No Tech is in the middle. What's up, bro? How you doing? 504 is out there too. What's up? What's up? Woo, we got a bunch of killers out there. John Michelle, I got it right tonight. What's up, John? How you doing? Woo! Yeah, I got it right this time. That's what I'm talking about. All right, Juan Contreras. What's up, Juan? How you doing, bro? Who else we got out here? And all right, that's it. The full squad is on deck. That is it. We are ready to rock and we are ready to roll. And now I can finally. I've been waiting all damn day. Oh my God. I am tired of it. I am tired of the Fold madness. I am tired of the Fold boys. I'm tired of the Samsung Knight. I am tired of all of it. So, for those of you all that are not aware of what's going on, you know that Samsung has come out with their next generation Galaxy Fold. It is a foldable phone. You can have it, use it as a phone, or you can fold it out to a full tablet. Well, Samsung put these Galaxy Folds in the hands of reviewers, and over the past 2 to 3 days, there have been all types of issues with the Galaxy Fold. I'm talking about from the likes of MKBHD, Marquette Brownlee, Mark Gurman from Bloomberg, Steve Kovac from CNBC, some dude named Todd from CNBC too. We got issues. We got Dieter Baum from The Verge. He had an issue with his. Good Lord. So there are a few issues at play here. It's not just one issue. There are multiple points of failure which I discussed in my video last night. First point of failure, the protective film on the phone itself. Apparently, it can be peeled off. Now, in the review unit, Samsung did not tell the reviewers that that film is supposed to stay in place. So that means that's Samsung's fault, number one, for not telling the reviewers that the film should stay in place. But the other part, the more perplexing part to me, is that if this film is supposed to stay in place, why the hell can it be peeled off to begin with? What kind of manufacturing is that? I don't understand. Even if you put warnings on the retail unit, somebody is going to peel it off. The average consumer is not going to understand or care that it's supposed to stay in place. Every phone since dinosaurs have walked has had like a screen protector on it where you can peel it off. If you see it, you peel it off. If you grab the Galaxy S10 this year, it had that flimsy screen protector, you pulled it off. iPhones usually come in some type of plastic, you peel it off. If you see something that can peel, you are going to peel it. If it's supposed to be on the phone or not, that is natural human nature. So if Samsung wants to put this protective film on the phone, they should have engineered it in such a way where it could not be peeled off. Because I promise you, when the phone gets into the hands of average consumers, they're going to peel that shit off just like that, and they're going to have dead phones because of it. But, oh, no. The first-gen apologists would have been, oh, no, we can't criticize the phone. It's a first-gen device. Oh, no. That's user error. They're not supposed to peel it off. Oh, no. The Galaxy phone is a perfect device. It smells like the botanical garden. It can do no wrong. Oh, my God, let me with this apology crap. It's ridiculous. It's a manufacturing hardware defect. It should not be able to be peeled in the first place. Now, that's only the first point of failure. Point of failure number 2, Dieter Bohn from The Verge. Apparently, somehow, he got some type of debris or clay lodged in his hinging mechanism, which caused his phone to malfunction. What? Huh? What? Well, what is that? What? So let me get this straight. Because the hinging mechanism is somehow open to debris, the phone is going to malfunction? I mean, do you know what the average consumer does with their phones on an everyday basis, Samsung? They are throwing them in pockets, in bags, on couches, all these places where you can find dirt, dust, debris, lint, whatever. Those hinges are going to be under attack like the White Walkers are under attack or Season Winterfield. Dirt and debris and lint is going to attack the hinge every damn day. And if it's that easy to malfunction the phone off a piece of debris, again, another mishap, another misstep, another hardware defect. If the hinge is that fragile, it should have been sealed up better. Are you kidding me with this? But again, oh, no. This is a first-gen phone. We can't criticize the hinging mechanism, can we? Oh, no. The Galaxy phone can do no wrong. People should baby their Galaxy phone. People should baby their phone. They shouldn't be so rough with their phone. Oh, no. We can't criticize this. Oh, no. You get the hell out of here with that bullcrap argument? Really? You know, the most interesting thing about this is that these review units were in the hands of tech enthusiasts and let me try again. So, these review units were in the hands of established tech enthusiasts, tech journalists, people who know how to properly handle electronic devices. So, if people who know how to handle their electronics are having all of these issues, what the hell do you think the average consumer is going to do to this phone? I mean, really? If people who take care of electronics, whose job it is to make sure they take care of electronics like pristinely on an everyday basis is having this high of a failure rate with the phone, what on God's green earth do you think is going to happen when the phone goes on sale in a week? It's going on sale in a week, 7 days. The phone is going on sale to the mass public, and we're having these problems. Oh, no. But the other thing I'm getting, well, Viper, these are production units. These aren't the units that are going to be going on sale next week. What? What do you think they're going to do, like a secret Santa swap in the next 7 days? Really? So the units are going to change that much over the next 7 days, where Samsung's going to be able to go back fix these problems and then release a brand new unit in 7 days? Really? How dumb can you be? These are the same units that will be on sale to the public next Friday. The hell you mean these are the units? Get the hell out of here. What are they gonna do? Do a magic? What is this? The magic school bus? What are they gonna like magically? What are they raining galaxy phones up trees? Brand new ones? Are they growing them in a damn farm somewhere? Really? 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 Get out of here with that crap. Second point of failure. Third point of failure. What was the third point of failure? The brief. Oh, the dude from CNBC who was using his phone in a regular way. He didn't even do anything with it. He was just using it how it's supposed to be used, and somehow it malfunctioned. Now, you know, everything or anything that's like, hold on. Let me get a drink. I'm getting all mad now. You know, anything that's mass manufactured is going to have some defect. That goes for anything, iPhone, Samsung, whatever. But what people don't realize, and as John Rettinger even said in his interview with Lou from Unbox Therapy earlier today, there are only 30 of these phones out in the wild right now. 30 phones, 30 Galaxy phones are out there, just 30 of them. And out of 30 phones, 5 of them have already had mishaps. 5 out of 30. That is an extremely high failure rate. That is a failure rate that does not go to mass production and in the mass public. No consumer electronics company on God's green earth is selling a product with a 10% failure rate and higher. Would you drive a car with a 10% failure rate? I don't think so. Would you buy a phone? Would you buy a regular phone with a 10% failure rate? I don't think so. If it has anything above a 1% failure rate, it gets scrapped. It's supposed to get scrapped. That's the way it works. Especially considering you are spending $2,000 on this phone. This is a $2,000 device with a 10% or higher failure rate, with multiple points of failure. But again, it's just first-gen technology. It smells like the botanical garden. It shit don't stink. No. It's the Galaxy phone. It's the next generation of smartphones. Nothing could go wrong. Nothing. Really? Y'all sound silly AF right now. Can't believe everybody's defending this phone. Listen, man, for all of you all that are leaning on the first gen technology argument as opposed to why we can't criticize the thing, sit down. Just sit the hell down. Because this is not a first gen problem. This is a hardware manufacturing design defect. This is a design that should have never left the lab. This is not a first-gen problem. A first-gen problem is if the app continuity switching from fold to unfold, if that was malfunctioning, that would be a first-gen problem. Then I can understand that argument. But this is not a first-gen argument. This is a bad hardware design argument. This is a design flaw. That's what this is. And with multiple points of failure, and they're still going to sell it in its current state. I mean, we might as well just walk up and open the door to Note 7 Part 2, because that's what we're walking into. We're walking into a Galaxy Note 7 fiasco Part 2. Now, it won't be nearly as serious because people's lives won't be in danger, but we are still walking into a potential Note 7 Part 2 fiasco. And I don't think Samsung can survive another Note 7 fiasco, if you ask me. But what do I know? I'm just a man about tech. But this is absolutely ridiculous. All you Samsung Knights, all you first-gen apologists, all you Galaxy phone boys, you sound kind of ridiculous. 3 points of failure. 3, not 1, not 2, 3 different points of failure. 5 devices out of 30. That's above a 10% failure rate, but you're still pom-pomming, you're still driving in, trying to ride in on your white horse with your pom-poms, trying to make excuses for this phone. Even The Verge, even Joanna Stern from Wall Street Journal, even the tech people are saying, don't buy this phone. It is not ready for prime time. It is clearly not ready for prime time. This is not me hating on the phone. This is fact. Like I said in my video last night, the facts don't care about your brand loyalty. The facts don't care about your emotions. The facts don't give a damn about your allegiance to Samsung. The facts are just the facts. They are the facts. The facts are that right now, this phone has a greater than 10% failure rate. Those are facts. The facts are that right now, there's not 1, 2, but 3 different points of failure. Those are the facts. The facts are that the phone was clearly rushed to market to beat the Huawei Mate X. I don't know why, considering the fact that in the U.S., Huawei's not even a factor because they can't even sell phones in the U.S. Why are you rushing this phone? What Samsung should do is delay it, take it back to the lab, clean it up, and then re-release it when it's 100% ready to go. Because right now, it ain't ready. I am not advocating for them to cancel the Galaxy Fold. I actually want to see what it can do. The technology looks good. The mechanical engineering looks like shit. Okay? We're talking about 2 different things right now. The technology looks legit. The engineering, the mechanical, hardware engineering is garbage. It's hot garbage. It's trash. But let's see what y'all got to say in the chat. Oh, boy. Oh, wait. Oh, before I go to the chat. Oh, man. Before I go to the chat real quick, this is gonna get interesting because because I do have a special guest inbound tonight on tonight's show. Now he's probably not watching right now, but he'll be on the show later on. And the reason why this is gonna be interesting is because this dude is one of the main people trying to make apology for this phone. Oh man. So coming on Friday Night Vyp tonight, this is gonna be good. For the first time ever, we got the Colonel, baby. We got Mr. Enjoy Your Entertainment, Mr. Bored at Work himself, Thunder E. Colonel Singala is coming to Friday Night Vyp tonight, and he loves the Galaxy Fold. So this is gonna be hella interesting. Oh my God. This is gonna be real interesting, real quick. Oh my God. But yeah, let's go to the chat. Woo! Oh boy. Oh man, oh man. Woo! What up, Perp Man? How you doing, bro? How you doing? Krista White. Yeah, Krista, this will be fun. Man. Oh man, oh my God. Oh, okay, see, we already got a Samsung night in the chat. So Precision 456 says the only points of failure are the user peeling off the screen. The fact that it can be peeled off is a point of failure all by itself. You can't. Like I said in my rant, if it's not meant to be peeled off, then it should be engineered in such a way where it can't be peeled. You cannot put that on the user. Stop playing. It's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous argument. Stop. It's ridiculous. My God. Anyway, let me go back up here. Oh man. Ooh boy. That's right, Lily. This ain't it, Chief. This ain't it. Janosa says the engineers designing this phone knew about these flaws too. No way you get dirt, dust, sand, micromatter logged into your device and not know. You would think so, but clearly they did not do enough testing because this thing is all types of foul, bro. Woo boy. Oh my God. Man. Woo. Tech Red said, would you buy an iPhone with a 10% failure rate? Probably not. See? It's ridiculous. Like, what are we talking about here? What are we talking about? Oh man. Oh, my man Jeff putting in the buy me a coffee link, man. If you guys want to donate, feel free to use the link that Jeff posted up. Just scroll up, it's up there somewhere. I'll put it down later on in the chat. But the channel's still not monetized, so if you guys want to donate, it would be appreciated. Oh, what else we got going on? What else we got? Oh, Watch said he spent the matching school bus. Yo, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Oh my goodness. Oh, we got Stetson Corson stopping by. All right, Stetson, thank you for stopping in, man. I appreciate you. 504 said a first gen phone from a company that's been making electronics for decades. I can understand if we're talking about a first year company. Yeah, exactly. Samsung is a household name. This type of stuff is not excusable, man. I don't care what generation it is. It's ridiculous. Janosen said there's no mercy in here. It ain't no mercy in here, Janosen. Ain't no mercy. This is crazy. I'm tired of people trying to apologize for this phone. Like, no, stop it. Ridiculous. Technically, T said, the next few weeks, I'm just going to sit back and smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave. I know, right? Tech right there, what is happening? Krista said, this is why phones need less moving part. Yeah, exactly. You want to put, all right, you do not want multiple points of failure on your phone. The average consumer don't know how to act. They don't know how to handle electronics. So anything that the average consumer can get to that could be a point of failure is bad. It is bad. It is bad. That's not what you want. We got Aiden Rao. What's up, Aiden? How you doing? Nick says I'm killing him. Hopefully you're still alive, Nick. Hopefully you're still alive. All right. Not too much going on in the chat tonight. Okay. All right. Okay. Yep. Not too much going on. Okay. Cool. All right. So let me see. Let me go back down to the bottom here. Let's see. That's right. The Colonel himself is going to be here tonight. So that's what's going on, man. Tech Red says, I want to see an A73 versus Galaxy 4 camera test since they're in the same price range. I know, right? That would be hilarious. All right, so let me start throwing out some links, man, because it's link time here. Let's see what we got. Y'all are wilding out there. I like it. But yeah, I'm gonna need for people to stop making excuses for the phone, bro. Like, I'm gonna need y'all to stop. It's ridiculous. Like, this is not, like I said, this is not a first-gen argument. This is a bad hardware argument, man. What is going on, man? What is going on? Like, they need to take it back to the lab. Like I said, Jason for Paisley out of Tech thinks they should cancel it. I'm not even going that far. All I'm saying is that they should delay the launch, take it back to the lab, clean up the hardware issues, and then re-release it a few months later. Like, I don't think that's a bad thing. When you are releasing a product like this, as important as this product is for Samsung, you want it to be the best product possible. And what they're releasing next week is not the best product possible. It's damn near the worst product they could possibly release. And a time where they should be aiming for their best, they're about to release their worst. That is not a good look. It is not going to end well at all. And people are making excuses for this. Like, no, man. No. I don't know why we making excuses for this, bro. I don't understand. We need to stop making excuses and hold Samsung accountable for their crappy engineering and make them fix this garbage. It's ridiculous. Oh my God, what is going on here? What is happening here, man? What is happening? I don't understand, bro. I don't understand. Okay. All right, so I passed out a few links. We'll see what happens. I passed out links to Tech Rant and Travis and technically T and the Colonel. Oh, you know what? I missed Jeff on Wednesday night, so let me give Jeff a link when he gets free later on, and he can come in and talk to me too. Another thing is, I'm not trying to be here all night tonight. Like, we might have a hard stop at like 10:30 because I'm not really trying to be here for like 8 hours, man. So we're going to make these live streams shorter because these live streams are going way too long. They're going way too long. So I'm going to start stopping these at like 4 hours or so. That's long enough, man. That's more than long enough. All right, so what else is going on? Blah, blah. What is going on? All right, let's go back to the chat. That's why the links have been sent. And yeah, that's what's going on. Okay, yeah. All right. All right, let's see. Oh, man. Oh my. I just got a rare request from CJ Knows Tech. He wants to come on here at some point tonight. Okay, CJ. Hey, come talk to me. I don't care, man. I don't even care. Come talk to me. Let me know. Let's go. All right, CJ. The link is in your Twitter DMs. If you can make it, you know what to do. That's it. That's all I'm talking about. That's all we doing. All right, let's take it back to the chat. See what y'all talking about. Let's see. Piscina says, when the issues are out the box, then there's an issue. What do you mean when they're out the box? Have you not been paying attention for the past 2 days? Go. Okay. All right. You know what? When the issues are out of the box, really, go to theverge.com. Go to the Wall Street Journal. Go to BGR. Go to any tech, reputable tech website today, right now, and you'll see all the issues that you want to see and then some. What do you mean when the issues are out of the box? They're already out of the box, bro. What? Wake up, baby. Wake up. I know you all are the guardians of the galaxy. I know you are the hardcore Samsung Knight, but you mofos gotta wake the hell up, man. I'm gonna need all y'all to wake the hell up. This is that is a ridiculous statement when the issues are out of the you know, I don't understand. I don't understand. Like, the whole point of giving reviewers a review unit is to find this stuff out before it gets to the consumer. If there are issues identified during the review phase, then these companies should take that feedback and make a better product. That is the whole entire point of people reviewing a product, to find the flaws and make it a better product. If you have flaws, then the company can take that feedback and clean up the product and make the best product possible. I don't know why it seems like reviewing has changed, or the culture of reviewing has changed. I don't understand. But the whole entire purpose to review a phone, or the whole purpose of reviewing a phone, is to identify flaws. That's what it is. Am I wrong, Nick Ray? Am I wrong?
What's up?
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me.
Is it me or is it you? Oh, you were muted. Try again.
All right, go ahead.
Nope, still can't hear you.
Motherfucker.
It's definitely not me this time. Can anybody hear Tech Ray? Because I can't hear him. I am pretty sure I am plugged in, so it is not me.
Can you hear me now?
Nope, can't hear you. Wait, y'all can hear him? What the hell? How can y'all hear him, but I can't hear him? Oh, what is going on?
Google Hangouts to screw this over.
Okay. All right.
Oh,
all right.
Lord. Let me get this back up and running so I can actually see what's going on in the chat. All right. These testing 1, 2, 3.
There we go. Now I can hear you.
Okay.
I don't know what the hell happened.
Yeah. Please excuse my shitty FaceTime webcam that's on my MacBook Pro.
So, Tech Ray, am I wrong or am I right, bro?
Ah, man. There's so many different ways to look at this or whatever, right? But in my opinion, in my honest opinion, if they had that many review units have issues and the adhesive or whatever that they're using, obviously it can be faltered or, you know, messed with by someone using their fingernail, then I think they should pull it back. I think they should be like, look, hey, let's see what's going on. Let's try and fix this, instead of saying, oh, well, we noticed there was an issue with a couple of units, but we're still going to ship it out anyway. Like, they better have like a super master recall plan already in place, you know, just in case.
Bruh, we are talking about, like John Redinger said earlier, he doesn't think there's more than 30 review units out there. So out of 30 review units out there in the wild, 5 of them have already failed. That is beyond 10% failure rate, Tech Rant. What is, really?
Yeah, and it's so weird, because it's like, this is one of the times where we literally have people just like, hey, you know, we're going to give it a pass. We're not going to scrutinize this as hard because it's brand new technology, but it's at such a high price point, you know. And I'll say this because I'll be the first one to admit that I can be wrong or not look at something the right way, but keep that same energy if another company does this, or if the Mate X fails, or if Apple comes out with a foldable device and that fails. Keep that same energy. Keep that same energy with it being their first product, with it being a first gen device for that company. Even if LG did it, keep that same energy.
For real though, because you know, if this was an iPhone or a folded iPhone and we were having these problems, the lynch mob would be out. The torches will be out. It'd be Armageddon.
Right. And I want to clear something up because I kind of got some comments earlier or whatever, and I want to clear this up with people. I am not bashing Samsung. Samsung made a really, really good device in the S10, the S10e, and the S10 Plus. That thing is awesome. It's good to go. There's nothing wrong with that. Samsung knocked that out of the park. They've been knocking on Apple's door for a while now. It's just this issue with the Fold that I have my most criticism with.
Yep. I said in my video last night, just so it didn't appear that I was bashing Samsung. I'm like, if you want a Samsung device right now, the Galaxy 10 is it. The Galaxy S10 is the device you want. The Galaxy Fold ain't it cheap, but the Galaxy 10 or the S10, this is the one you want.
So yeah, I'm not telling people to cancel Samsung or don't ever trust Samsung ever again. I'm just like, look, here are the things that Samsung should do, and maybe, certain people should probably say something about it.
People are actually out there talking about they should baby these devices. Do you really think the average consumer is going to baby their device? No.
It was quite hilarious because it's like, okay, so you're going to pay $2,000 to have the latest technology, to have a phone that folds and the first of whatever, right? Fine. But it at least has to be practical. Like, it's something that you're going to take with you everywhere you go. So what are we going to sell? Ziploc bags with it? And you're just going to put your phone inside the bag and zip it up and make sure nothing else gets inside there? Like, what's the use case for that?
Really? I mean, that's what they're talking about. That's what they're making it sound like. Hey, if you don't want nothing to happen to your phone, put it in a Ziploc bag, put it in a bubble so nothing can happen to it. Are Samsung selling accessory bubbles at launch? Can I get one? Oh God, this is terrible, man. This is dumb. I don't understand tech rant. Like just the level of like it's just like you said. A lot of people are seeming to be giving this thing a pass because it's first gen technology and it's something new. Just because it's first gen technology doesn't mean it's absolved from criticism. Like, you want to criticize the product if it's not right. And like I said, it's not like the technology is bad. The technology seems pretty solid. It's the mechanical engineering that's terrible and it needs to be fixed. What are we talking about here?
Right. But that's my thing is just, like, okay, I'll say this. I'll be fair. I'll be fair to anybody out there that is a fan of the Fold and everything else like that. There are some people out there who are going way too far in trying to basically try and chase Samsung away like they never need to exist. I totally get that. Like, there's some crazy people out there. They're in my comment sections. I've been going through and managing comments between both sides, but it is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah, and people are, I think, are perk-minded. Just said the Note 7 situation was worse than this, and you're absolutely right. The Note 7 situation was putting people's lives in danger, so that was much worse than this. But if Samsung doesn't handle this correctly, they can have a similar Note 7 situation on their hands. It won't be as life-threatening, but it will be threatening to their brand and their reputation if it goes that way again. So they need to get this right.
Right, and that's where just a lot of just stuff just comes in because you got so many different sides coming at this and looking at everything. But I'll kind of stick to the main point of what Drew from Talos of Tech was saying was that, you're paying all this money. It should be ready to go, because I know a lot of people who are, wealthy, rich and stuff like that. And although we're saying that this is not for the average consumer, people who are like that, they're rich and they have wealth and stuff, they scrutinize stuff way more than we do. Yeah. Like when they pay for something, they're like, oh no, this better be right, or you're taking it back and you're getting me another one.
Annie, I think technically T was saying on the podcast that we had on Wednesday night that people are going to be scrutinizing this phone intensely now that they know that these problems exist. if Samsung is going to release this phone in its current state, then people are going to be extra scrutinizing it, and they're going to be like looking to return it at any little fault. So that's why I said they really should just delay it until it gets right and then re-release it. They don't have any competition except for Huawei, and the Mate X ain't coming out for another few months anyway. So there's literally no competition. There's no reason to rush this. Just take it back in the lab and get it right, and then re-release it. But nope, they're not doing that.
I mean, okay, this is speculation. This is my opinion. I don't work for Samsung. I'm not a market analysis, so don't nobody take this the wrong way. It could be that, back, oh Jesus. Anyway, it could be back when Samsung, they found out ahead of time before we knew what their numbers were. And you know how everybody was freaking out about the 60% drop in sales. So it could have been something that they were planning on doing, but then they probably expected weak earnings or weak sales. And they're like, look, we got to push something out there to get people buying, to get people hype again. And that could have been one of their motivations. I don't know. This is just something I'm thinking of, but I mean, companies do stuff like that. Like, hey, like, you know what? Push it out, get our name out there. Let's get back to selling and doing work.
Well, it's not going to really help much if you push it out there and then people push it back because they're returning it.
Oh, no, I get it. But I just want to make sure that I'm covering both sides, I mean, legit, I just disagreed with Drew on a video like a week ago. And then today I put him in a video kind of, saying like, hey, he had a point.
All right, so a lot of people, I'm going to say, I'm going to address what Colin just said in the chat because a lot of people were talking about this. He was saying that where is the S Pen for the Galaxy Fold? You all realize that this is a plastic screen, right? Yeah. I don't think you want to be writing on a plastic screen like that. I don't think that's going to work. I mean, we see how fragile it is already. Can you imagine people putting an S Pen to this thing? I mean, good Lord. That's a disaster waiting to happen, man. Nada.
I kind of feel like an S Pen on a foldable phone would be a little extra. Like I could see where some people might want it, but just the regular use case scenario, that might be extra because at least with the Note or whatever, right? You're holding it in one hand and you're using the S Pen, so it's flat up against your hand. There's just a natural thing with that or whatever, right? But holding that foldable phone with that bends inwards, not outwards, but bends inwards, and then trying to write on it and then trying to make sure you don't put too much pressure on it or maybe not go too deep and then hit the crease or hit the lip of where the screen protector is. That, yeah.
It's not even practical.
That wouldn't be a good idea.
No, that's not even practical. Like you said, it has that crease in the middle and it can fold. And then you gotta delicately balance it in one hand. Like, oh, fam, no, that's not gonna work. That ain't it, chief. That ain't it.
Right.
So Perk Minded wants to know: do I see Samsung delaying it a month? If they delayed it, it's gonna take longer than a month. But they're going to work. They're going forward with it. They're not delaying it. There's no delays or nothing like that. They're going to sell it as it is, and I think it might be an absolute disaster. But I may be wrong.
I mean, it's just the fact that they had to put something in the packaging to say that this is not a screen protector. Don't mess with it. But then if you look at Marquez's video, he showed in that video that somebody else had posted a tweet that the film was already peeling off. So that kind of goes back to my original point of whatever adhesive that they're using is not sufficient enough. I'm pretty sure the plastic that they have on there is sufficient enough. But whatever adhesive they got, they need to change that out. It shouldn't be peeling.
Just the fact that you can peel it is a problem. It should be engineered in such a way that you can't peel it.
And then the other thing I noticed about, and this was brought up before about the Mate, was that if you look where the hinge is, you look at the bottom part, there's no exposed plastic down there. There's like a little, it's like a ribbed kind of protection. I don't know if it's metal or if it's plastic or not or anything like that, but it covers it. where the fold is exposed. So like where you have the hinge at and it opens up, there's a little gap right in there in between the two sides and the hinge itself. So maybe that's something that they might have to go back and cover up or change or whatnot, so you don't have that exposure to the under part of the screen protector or whatever they call it, the film. I'm not sure.
Yeah, if debris can get into the hinge that easily, again, that is a manufacturing design flaw, defect, whatever you want to call it, and it needs to be fixed because you cannot send the phone to mass market like that. That's that you are asking for a disaster. This could be bad. This could be almost as bad as the Note 7. This could be bad. Woo boy, man, what it was. I mean, I don't understand. It's like when you like, I know that people are like kind of down on tech right now because they feel like the smartphone game is stale and things like that. And Samsung is bringing something fresh and new to the table. I get all that. But at the same time, don't you want Samsung to bring the best possible product to the table and not something that has a over 10% failure rate? I mean, or are we just or have our standards just lowered that far down that we don't give a damn no more? We don't care. Give us trash. Give us trash. We will take your trash. Like, what is going on, man?
The problem with that is like, I look at it this way. I look at it twofold. The first problem is, let's say you're a reviewer that only reviews high tier items. So you're only really reviewing flagships. You're only reviewing the best of the best. Well, over time, you're going to get numb to that because you're constantly reviewing the best. And then the other part is like, just like everything else in life, you got a low point and you got a high point. We've been at the highest point of tech in the past 4 years than we've ever been. Like, think about how much stuff has evolved through phones. It's 2019 right now. Go back to 2015 and 2014 and look at the difference. Like, look at the difference between the iPhone 5 and the iPhone 10. Look at the difference between the Note 10 and the Note 4 or the Note 3, or look at the difference between the S10, or look at the difference between, I'm sorry, the S10 and like the S3. There's so many things that's happened in between there, and we literally just been going up and up and up and up and up. Eventually, you're going to hit a low point.
So does that mean we accept trash?
No, I'm not saying that we accept trash, but it's like people start to try and find other stuff to get excited for. You know, it's like they've been getting a constant high, and now that they can't get that constant high, they're just looking for the next thing. They don't care what it is.
All right, I understand that, but you still gotta sell me a product that works and won't break down after 2 days. Tech rent, I mean, goddamn.
No, but I get you. I'm just trying to put myself in the shoes of some of the other people, because I called some people out and some people might be looking at me some type of way. So I'm trying to show that, hey, I see both sides of this. I was just kind of pissed off earlier.
I don't know who told Technically T that this was a formal affair, but what's up, man? How you doing?
Nah, man, look, me and my girl was literally about to go out and get some food. So I saw the link come, and I was like, let me hop in, because, we got to wait for them to get ready. So I was just like, let me hop in and say what's up real quick, man.
Okay. Okay. I see, from where I'm looking, it looks like you were like in a dressy shirt, but that's just a tweet. Okay.
No, that's just a sweater. No. Okay. Nothing serious. I was like, you know what? While waiting to get ready, let me just hop in and say what's up real quick, man, and get my little 2 cents in before it's time to roll.
So let's get your 2 cents on this, T. Where you at, bro?
Man, look, you heard the comment I said in the chat, man. Look, all we gotta do is wait and see. We all could be completely wrong. They could be. I don't know, man. Like, my mind is kind of all over the place with it. It's like, if you don't remove the plastic, do you have a better chance? Look, all I know is it's something that I'm not getting. If you go out there and want to risk $2,000 on something that, look, I don't have time to waste time with a device that is $2,000 and you $2,000 and you have a screen protector that's going to peel off by itself anyway. But if you want to have it, you're going to be so careful with the device that you ain't even gonna be able to use it comfortably because you're gonna be so worried about it taking damage or getting some dust or getting debris in it. Like for $2,000, that you're not giving me no type of peace of mind. You know what I mean? So it's just like at this point, man, I'm just gonna wait. I know a few people gonna be getting it. I just want to see how they review it. If it's gonna mess up, if more units are gonna mess up. Already told you what they should do. They should just pull it, fix it, come back out with it later, just like you talked about it. Huawei is the only competition. They're not even here. Why the hell are you even worried about them? So that's just my thing, man. Like I'm kind of at this point, I'm just in that waiting period. Samsung came out, they said what they're gonna say, and hopefully they're able to swallow them words when they come out and they mess around and have some more devices messed up. So that's all I'm waiting on now at this point. It's just like, you know what? Let's just see if they're going to come out with it, and let's just see if it's going to be solid. Let's see if nobody else has the issue. You know what I mean? So at this point, I think we're all playing that waiting game. We all have said our opinions on it. So now at this point, we're just like, you know what? Now we got to see if what Samsung said is true or it's BS. So now we all just play. We just playing the waiting game, man. So that's kind of where I'm at, man.
So basically, what technically teacher said is that you can pay $2,000 for the phone to own you instead of you owning the phone.
Thank you.
That's what he said.
Thank you. That's just like I said in that tweet, man. You gonna pay $2,000. You got to be so careful with it. That's like giving me a damn Lambo and I can't go above 90 miles per hour or 80 miles per hour. Come on, man. Like it's just a waste of time, man. I get it. If you're gonna get the device, you want to get this bleeding edge technology. $2K is not worth me experiencing bleeding. It's not worth that experience. I'm sorry. I'm good on that. I'm fine on that, man. So we're just gonna wait. I'm just gonna sit back. I'm done saying my thoughts about it. I'm done making. I don't want to make no more videos about it. I just want to sit back and we'll just see when everybody get them in hand. All the lovers that love it, they defending it, going crazy. It is not no first gen BS. Stop saying that. So I don't know, man. That's where I'm at, yo.
So I am thoroughly waiting for someone to take that thing to a beach.
Oh, it's over. It is over.
Like I normally I do not partake in watching tech racks, but I would love to watch that dude drop it in the sand and try and open it. You know,
Zach says, but guys.
Since we're talking about, you know, particles and things that can go inside the hinge and, you know, it's all on you, just, you know, practical stuff, because think of all the places where you cannot take this phone. So many people were talking about before, like, yeah, man, you can go to the bar, you can go to the club, you can flex on people with it. Like, nah, that bar is wet. There's moisture. There's all kinds of other shit. Like, it's not, you know, water resistant or anything like that. You can't take it to the beach. You can't, you know, be walking down and be like, oh, hey, look at my phone. Oh shit, it fell into the sand. Like, there's so many.
Oh, it's boy. You thought so you tried taking the plane. It is over, yo.
Like, can you imagine taking that to a repair person? Be like, hey man, like, can you get these sand grains out of my phone? Like,
man, they gonna send your ass about that so quick. Man,
but these are the questions that people need to ask.
Nobody's asking that. They want the bleeding edge technology. They want to be cool. They want to pull out the Samsung Galaxy Fold. They want to get them views on that YouTube channel. I get the movement, man. I get the whole movement. Trust me, but it's not worth it. That's just not worth the headache, man. Y'all doing it just for the flex factor, yo. Nah, I'm good on that. To pull it out of people, you want people to say, "Oh, I got the Fold. Oh, you got the Fold." But be careful. You know what I mean? If you eating, don't eat around my phone. Don't drink around it. Like, you got to be, nah, man. Like, that's not a word. I pay $2,000. I should be able to do whatever the hell I want to do with a phone. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. I'm good on that. So, I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll come out with a video and say I'm wrong. But we'll see, man.
So basically, I gave y'all the option last night. You could pay about, from $1,000 to maybe like $1,300, $1,400 for the S10 or the S10 Plus or the S10, whatever you want to do, and have the time of your life, have the best Android experience on the market right now, and have no worries in the world. Or you could take that big risk, have that $2,000 blockbuster night, use the phone for 48 hours, and then return it because that's what you got to do.
Man, all I know is I need to see dates on these reviewers who's getting this. If you go out there and spending $2,000, I need dates. Don't let that device get missing after 30 days. You done reviewed it and returned it. Like, I want to see dates. Don't be trying to get the device and shoot 3 days worth of B-roll. No. I'm going to need dates in these videos to see you kept the damn device, because I bet a lot of people aren't feeling comfortable with $2,000. I'm just keeping it real. You got $2,000, you're not comfortable. You like, well, I'm going to shoot my video and I'm returning it. Like, come on, man. Don't. Oh, man.
So I watched Tech Rant's video earlier today where he asked the question, was John Ratlinger and Dave Lee giving the phone a pass? And Tech Rant had commented about how, it was Dave Lee who was commenting about how he was observing how people who had run into these issues with the phone, it seemed like they didn't care too much. Well, no shit, they didn't care. It's not their devices. They didn't pay $2,000. The average consumer is going to have a hell of a lot different reaction from these reviewers who are getting replacement units and not paying a dime. You have that. You have this happen to the average consumer who actually paid their hard-earned $2,000 for this phone. You're gonna have a hell of a lot of different reactions from these reviewers, bro. I'm just saying.
Man, they better go ahead some damn way with me. I'm telling you, man. I'm just gonna sit back and wait. When are they gonna come out in stores? When is it? The release is what, the 25th? The Avengers Endgame?
26th.
That's when it
yep.
comes out, right? Oh,
Yep.
It's gonna be in game for the fold then. That's what I thought. Yeah, it's coming out on the right day. In game. It's coming out on the right day.
He said in game for the fold, bro.
In game for the fold, yo. It's coming out on the perfect day.
I'm done. Stick a fork in me.
Yep.
I'm done.
That's it. People, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. I'm just saying. I want somebody to make me swallow my words, man. Show me that I'm wrong. Like, give me 10 devices, and then you prove that I'm wrong, man. Somebody gonna shut me up. Somebody gonna tweet me and be like, technically, T, shut up. Yo, here it is. There it is. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm waiting for.
Juan said that you could get a Galaxy S10 and a Next 2 laptop dock for half the price of the phone.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's crazy out here. Oh, we got my head of security, El Jefe. What's up, Jeff?
What's going on, man? You guys hear me all right?
Yo,
Loud and clear. Loud and clear,
man.
baby.
Nice.
Jeff, you might be the most sane person out of all of us, man. What do you think about this phone?
The most sane person. That's the first time I've been introduced this way. First, what's going on, Treading? T, what's going on, man?
What's going on, big homie?
Man, so yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on around it. I think I'm kind of in a wait and see. Now, obviously, I don't have any skin in the game because I ain't got no $2,000 down on the phone, man. Come on, son. But here's the thing, man. I'm not going to make any excuses for them. Honestly, I'm of the camp that I think they need to. I mean, they need to delay this release and kind of make sure that things are cool, that things are okay. But I don't know, man. I think it's going to be. I think we're going to be in for a real show, man. Get your popcorn ready, because when that phone releases and hits the wild, and you start getting regular people holding them and start living with them and stuff, I think we're going to see some. We're going to see some fireworks, man.
My man Zach said I'm rich as fuck, but I'm still not getting this one.
Real quick, I'm about to get up out of here, man. I'm about to go get this Korean barbecue in, man.
There you go.
So I just wanted today ain't gonna slide in here and say what's up, man, real quick. I'll be jumping in and out of the chat probably, man.
Right on,
right,
T,
man.
All right.
You enjoy
I'll
your
catch y'all
barbecue,
later,
bro.
man. You know it, man. Later.
Later, man. Speaking of barbecue, did y'all watch MKBHD barbecue that Game Boy today?
Oh, dude, that video was so good, man. That took me back, man.
Wow.
That took me back. That's why I put that story on. Because I don't retweet Marcus's content all like that. Because his content speaks for itself. He doesn't need me retweeting his stuff. But man, I mean, dude,
Man, he flame boiled that Game Boy though. I mean, damn.
he leveled up collaborations for everybody, man. Listen, if somebody calls me up for a collaboration in person, I fully expect flamethrowers when I get there.
No, right? Oh god, flamethrowers and Game Boys. You know that's what it is.
Dude, that was so good.
I was impressed. I was thoroughly impressed when they turned that damn thing back on,
Right?
and it worked. I was just like, man, they don't make them like they used to.
No.
Not at all, bro.
I walk outside without a case, and a slight breeze hits my hand, and the phone touches the ground. $600 repair from Apple.
Right.
Oh man, true story, man. Because I was heavy in the Game Boy stuff when I was a kid, and true story, my Game Boy got ran over twice and still worked just fine.
And they couldn't run it over once; they had to do it twice.
No, it happened twice because, like, when I was a kid, man, I grew up. We didn't have like weekends at home because my mom had her own business at a flea market. So, we always had to be out there on the weekends and stuff. So I'd be out there with my Game Boy. It would fall out, and then a car would drive by, and boom, get ran over. So it happened on 2 occasions. And the only thing that happened was one of the buttons got a little stuck, but I unstuck it and it kept going. So we were good to go.
Why did Armando Fiera make the joke that they peeled after they flame-broiled it, they peeled off the little film off the display to still work? He's like, I'm looking at you, Samsung. Like, damn.
If Nintendo could do this, if Nintendo could do this in 1989.
Really? Right? Where you at, Samsung? Where you at?
Hey, I'm gonna say this. That must be some premium ass plastic.
Right?
Like cheap plastic, that shit catches on fire and just melts instantly. Like they hit that thing with a whole ass flamethrower. I'm like
12 times.
And then an extinguisher.
Yeah.
They hit it 12 times, man. 12 times they flame-broiled that thing and it still survived.
Did you guys have one of those? Did you guys have one of the OG ones?
I don't think I did.
Oh man, yeah, I had to save up, man. I was I think I was 6 or 7 years old, and we used to have to work. Like, my mom had this thing where if we wanted anything, you couldn't just ask. Like, you couldn't ask for stuff like that. So it was basically, okay, how do you plan on buying this? How much is it? Okay, and you get $10 each weekend for doing this or that. So how many weekends is it going to take you to earn that? And then we would have to save up and earn it. And I remember saving up for so long to buy that thing. And then I finally got it, man, and it was just literally on like Donkey Kong because we were playing Donkey Kong on that bad boy.
That's what's up.
So, man.
Oh man, I just got a message from the Colonel. He said he's gonna join the few. Oh, this is gonna get good.
I just thought of another use case scenario since we're worried about dust and like shit getting into your phone.
Yep.
People who travel, you know how you go to the airport, you have to go through security and you have like the little bins and stuff and like their little plastic trays.
Yep.
That you got to put your electronics in. Like you got one bin for the electronics, another one for your bag. Like because now they make you take your phones out, they make you take your laptop out and stuff like that. And it's just like, what about all the stuff that's circulating around in there? Do you got to make sure that the bin is 100% closed? You got to put it in your Ziploc bag and then put it in the bin.
True.
It's crazy.
So I'm worried about them X-rays messing it up, man.
Right, really. So Jeff, man, John Register said there might be 30 review units out there total, and we know about 5 of them that we know of that have failed already. So that's a higher than 10% failure rate. I mean, that's unacceptable, Jeff. Or am I crazy?
No, I mean, assuming that's the exact sample size that we're talking about, I would be worried. Like if I was Samsung, I'd be like, listen, dude, I know we got a lot of money riding on this, but not saying that they can't afford another Note 7 type fiasco, because they can, but here's the thing. Why go for all that negative PR when all you got to do is, hey, you know what, for quality assurance reasons, we're going to delay this a little bit while we check out this hardware. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. I completely agree though, man. If we're talking about, 10% or more, dude, I mean, come on, man. I don't know what is acceptable on a corporate level for Samsung on device failure rates, but I don't know. Man, I mean, 10%. I don't know, man. I'm just watching from the outside looking in. I'm really I'm not sure about this, man. I'm not sure where this is going, man. But I'm looking forward to hearing from the Colonel though.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be live. Hopefully he'll be here in a few minutes. That's gonna be live though.
I'll be back. I gotta go be a dad.
Do that, man. You gotta do that.
TJ ain't having it.
Right.
All right, man. That's cool. So Jeff, I'm kind of glad that you're on here, man, because I talked to Drew about the situation on my podcast this week, but you're a better person to talk to since you were pretty much in the eye of the storm. How do you feel about Bludio's apology to you, man? What do you make of it?
Well, just to preface it before I get into it, is the fact that I'm not holding a grudge against them in that sense. I'm not out here on this F Bludio bandwagon, like I had said.
Right.
I'm just moving forward with my stuff. But that said, it was very disingenuous to me. That's how it felt. I mean, it's text, so I'm pulling emotion out of text. But to me, it just feels like BS. You know what I mean? It feels like complete BS. It's very easy. Steve from Gamers Nexus brought up the point that it's very easy to fire a fake employee. You know what I mean?
Right.
So if this person didn't exist, which honestly, I don't think this person actually did exist. I think that this person is most likely the owner of this company, because why would this person feel personally insulted by my review to write me an email like that? You know what I mean? Why would they be so personally invested? If they were just like a marketing person or like somebody like along those lines, like even like a social media person, why would they be so personally invested in that
Right.
to where they would write me an email like that? So that's kind of what makes me wonder about that. You know, it's like I don't know, man. It just seems a little sketchy. So I don't know. I don't know if I believe it, man. But
I don't know either. All right, we gotta stop the poll for a minute because we've been joined by one of the all-time great in tech YouTube, Mr. Enjoy Your Entertainment. I love how he says that. The Colonel Thunder E is in the building. What's up, bro? How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Thanks for the invite. Thanks for the
E, what's up, man? How you doing, man?
What's up, man? How you going?
Chilling, bro. Chilling.
All right, good.
Thunder E, man. We gotta talk, Thunder E. We gotta talk, bro.
Yeah.
Cause you going hard for this fold, man. Even with all the issues, you are going hard. So why don't you tell the people?
Do you want me to break it down? Because I'm tired of tech stupidity. I'm gonna call it out right now.
Break it down.
I'll call it out right
now.
Let's go. Let's be simple. How many issues actually happened?
5 that we know of.
5. How many units went out?
John Richard said 30. He thinks around 30.
100 worldwide, not 30.
Ooh.
Not just us. Remember, just because we're in the US, everybody, a lot of people got this stuff out there. So out of that 5, how many were peel issues and how many were issues? I think 2 were issues where it just stopped working for whatever reason. We don't know. Right. And the other 2 were peel. I call that miscommunication from Samsung and peeling something you shouldn't peel combined together. That's what it is. At the end of the day, it's not even that easy to, I mean, this is the device right here. It is not that easy to take off. And I mean, by the way, sorry, the Colonel's there, but it is not that easy to take off. Like, I'm not saying that, hey, look, I'm smarter than anybody else, whoever decided to peel it off. I just looked at it and I'm like, look, this is a $2,000 device. Let me take a look at everything first before I do anything. So on our boxes, we didn't have anything that said, don't peel this off. Like Des from T-Mobile said, hey, on our retail boxes, we have that information there. So I'm looking at it as like Samsung, make it bolder, make it bigger, tell people. Now, some people are gonna say, hey, look, why does that display have this? Like, that's not a good display. I can't answer that question because nobody has ever made a foldable phone anyway. I don't know. I don't know why you need that there. Samsung calls it a something adhesive because it is so thin, they needed something to bind it together. So for whatever it is, I call it, that's what the manufacturing is. Now, it's not the same display as your phone. There are 2 different types of OLEDs completely. One is made from glass, one is made from plastic, and it does, you know, one bends, like one does this. Right. I tried that with my S10. I'm dropping another $1,000 for this phone. So I look at it as like, look, what I got from the tech community that pissed me off was hate. To me, it's not Samsung I'm defending. I'm defending the tech. Okay. Because I want to see foldable phones. I want to see foldable devices. If this doesn't do decent enough, the Huawei one is going to go through the same thing. The Xiaomi one is going to go through that. Motorola, quote unquote, is making one, right? So we've seen all these things, and I'm going, let's be honest. We want to see innovation. And the last time we saw innovations in cell phones was when, to me, the mini innovation was when the Galaxy Note was made. That's the first time we saw anything in big screen size and a pen. Mm-hmm. And that was, Galaxy Note is what? We're Note 10 this year. That was almost 10 years ago. So, I mean, like, you got to look at it, not 10 years, actually, the jump number. So it was about 7 years ago. Mm-hmm. So we got to look at it from a point of, look, if Samsung has issues, yes, but don't call foldable phones bad just because you're looking at price and you're also looking at, okay, this is a tech I need. So for some people, you may not need it. For me, I love this thing. I mean, Huffy, I travel a lot. So I don't want to carry a tablet. I mean, I want it thinner. This is Gen 1. I want improvements to this. But the fact that if I'm on a plane and I open it up and I'm watching my movie like this, I'm good. or I need to do whatever I need to do. So I think a lot of people are mixing a lot of things where it's like, you got to be happy for the tech. Whether you don't like Samsung or not, I don't care. You know, and that's the thing that I'm missing from it, because everybody's going, ooh, if Apple had done this. Apple has a butterfly keyboard issue they haven't fixed in 3 generations.
Yep.
Yeah. No, that's true.
All right, so got all that. That was good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But do we want to see innovation at the cost of the device not functioning properly? I don't know, man. I don't know. And you say that the film or whatever, you according to you, the film doesn't look like it can be removed. But
to me, this looked like something that I could not even touch.
But we had Marquez Brownlee, Mark Gurman, and Joanna Stern all peel the film off. So if 3 of the brightest minds in tech peeled the film off,
who said they are brighter than you and me? I don't care who you are. And let's not even go that. See, that's the thing. This is the problem we do. Look, Marquez is a cool dude. I don't care who you are. Okay. It doesn't matter. You could be the president, and we've got one. We know how people can be dumb. I'm not saying that he is. I'm saying that people make mistakes. That's the difference. And the biggest mistake here was Samsung didn't say, don't take this off very big, right?
But my point is that people that handle electronics for a living took this film off. So do you not think that the average consumer at some point is going to take the film off? Nobody's going to take it off.
Oh, no. I mean, I think that was possibly there. But I said the mistake is they didn't tell us.
Right.
That's the biggest mistake. Right. Yeah. Because when Des says, hey, look, no, all our retail packaging has this. I'm like, then I looked at mine. I was like, it didn't. But in my mind, I never see. Like Marquez even said in his video, he said, I usually like he almost has an OCD of taking it off.
Yeah.
In a sense. So I get that with him. It's like, I'm just going to rip it off completely. But it's one of those things where, again, it is review units. They are also not, some of them are considered pre-production. They're early units. And also, again, it's not retail packaging. Now, again, my own thing is Samsung should have just said, hey, look, guys, before you open this shit up, don't take this off, right? Don't take it. And I get that. Like, if they had done that, think about it. If they had done that, all you have heard is 2 units just stop working for whatever reason. That's it.
Yeah.
Probably. Right. But the fact that the film can be taken off anyway, regardless, is a problem. It is a manufacturing problem.
It's not a manufacturing problem because you don't know what the manufacturing process of a foldable. Again, it is not a regular display. Who has made a foldable display on the market right now that you can purchase?
Nobody.
Exactly. So you can't even. Your question has failed the ability to be answered. Second, Jaime from Pocket Now made a good point. He said he saw it. He went, this looks like it might look like a screen protector, but I also know that nobody makes screen protectors for this. So where would I buy a replacement? That's the other thing. But again, nobody has made this, so we don't know what until Huawei drops theirs and they say, okay, this is a different technique. Until Xiaomi drops theirs and say this is a different technique. I get the ability to look, but for me, it's a matter of what did you do and how does it work? People complain about display. Who dropped a video, did 1,000 folds in a video today? Lou did.
Yep.
I was thinking about it and I was like, thank you very much. You finished, you dropped it, nothing. That's a dude just doing this on camera.
But what does that prove? What does that prove, though?
No. That proves the quality of the display. Yes, it has the screen on, but it proves it actually works. And again, it's going back to the whole narrative of remember what. Look at what this calls, and this is why I say that techies don't get a big picture. Everybody did a fuss yesterday, 2 days ago. What happened yesterday? Samsung took a big hit on a device and people going, it's failing. This is what I got yesterday. I went out, I had a couple of events in the city. I walked in, people saw it in my hand. They're like, is that the phone? I'm like, yeah. Then one person said, it's like, oh, but I heard it has displays that don't work. I was like, yeah, toss it. Do whatever you want to do with it. He's like, oh, it's fine. I'm like, it's because people took screens off. And I get it, misinformation. But again, that is misinformation for the product they made. Samsung has to deal with that. Now, you saying that is bad production has nothing to do with it because you don't know how it's made or why that is needed. in the first place.
But if it's there and it can be taken off in such a way, and it's so critical to the infrastructure of the display that it's not supposed to be removed, but it can be removed, that is a defect. It should be engineered.
That is not a defect.
How?
That is not a defect. You know why though?
How?
Because if it is, here's why I'm thinking about. Here's why I think it should be this way. Because this is a pliable plastic display. If you make it hard press that screen on top, it will break when you do this. You have to make it layered on top, and you have to apply it after the fact.
Right.
And that's the only reason I'm thinking.
I'm not even talking about that though. I'm talking about it should be put on there in such a way that you can't remove it at all. If it's that critical to the screen's infrastructure, it should be put on there where it can't be removed.
I disagree, because if you're going to repair it, if they have to repair it, they have to take it off, or else they are replacing this layer and then the full display on top. Because all displays have two layers, by the way. You know that. Your Gorilla Glass is not your display. Your OLED is underneath Gorilla Glass.
Right.
And that's the part. So basically what it is that when you break a Gorilla Glass, your OLED's underneath. What they did is they took over whatever this will be called that protects it. And I get it. I get the thinking that that's the case. But again, it's a matter of, look at Marquez's photo. Look at how hard he had to pull that thing. Just look at the photo. And even he said, it's like, oh, I pulled it, and it's like, I realized I should not be touching this thing. And I get that, but I think it's just something that we are looking at it as being something bigger than it is. And that's the biggest thing here. And plus, the people who buy $2,000 phones, don't fuck around with their phones like that. Let's just be honest. I mean, I'm just saying the truth. I mean, if I'm spending $2,000 on a phone, I am not playing around with shit. Even if this phone were to, they told me like, yeah, it was military spec, I could drop in a nuke on it, I still spent $2,000 on a phone. I'm going to be holding. I'm not saying that that's what you should do. I'm just saying that
you're right. People that spend money on the phone, they won't do that. But their kids and other people are a different story entirely.
The kids are not touching that phone.
Oh, you must be crazy. You know better. You know better. The kids are gonna get their hands on the man. They be like, "Ooh, what is that, Daddy? Can I play with that?" Here.
This Daddy. That's like 2 seconds. Take a look. All right, give me.
Here's where I want to jump in at. Right, my only issue, like, okay, I totally get what you're saying, and that makes complete sense. And I see things from a different perspective. My issue is that film is exposed, like you can get to it, and for it being plastic. And for it being not as durable as, regular screens, I would think that area, there would be something overlapping that to where you can't get to it that easily. That's the only part that I'm saying, because when you look.
Sorry, go ahead. Continue.
No, I'm just saying, because there's clearly a gap there. And when you're looking at plastic, right, and you have a layer of plastic and there's a space, right, we've seen now. We don't know the entire story, but we saw a picture that was online where part of that had started to separate on its own or whatnot. And I was personally thinking, okay, have that part covered so any sort of debris doesn't get up in between there and start rubbing. At least you have a cover over that. You know what I'm saying? Now, sure, people can probably call it like an extra bezel and give Samsung, hate about it, but at least, that part is covered. Because you're not just seeing that little layer of plastic, and then the edge.
No, I definitely hear you. And I see, as much as Viper calls it manufacturing defect, I call it Gen 1 issues. Because,
don't you do that!
No. And I'm calling it for you because I don't consider that way. I actually don't consider it an issue. But for your sake, I'm going to call it that, because even I myself here, I can't get my finger into that thing. I have to use a tool to pick it up. Granted, I have big hands, and I know you have big hands also over there. So I don't know how these motherfuckers pull this up. I'm just saying that for me, I cannot do it. I'm just telling you that to me, that's just the truth. That's for me, I can't. But somebody could, and you could use a tool. You could use tweezers to pick it up, sure, and you would damage it. And I do hear you, bro. I think, to a certain degree, but the problem is this is where people are taking it off, is where the hinge is. And I think they have a hard time blocking this because it bends right here. That's the easiest spot to access it, right? So I think that's where some of their issues lie. It's like, how do you cover that without actually destroying it at the same time, or stopping it from folding? So it's, to me, that's a Gen 1 thing, because you're looking at things that you built a device and you're going, everything works, this works, and then something happens. I'm like, when I did my video, I said, look, you look at the original iPhone. It wasn't perfect. There were a lot of issues with that phone. I mean, and most people I think because now we're in the smartphone industry is so mature, we forget that it takes 3 years for any device to get to the point where it's stable, and then another 2 years before it becomes the device. What's the best-selling iPhone? Can anybody guess?
It's an R right now.
No. iPhone 6 and 6S. That was the best selling iPhone. That's sixth generation. It took 6 generations to get to that point. Microsoft, the Surface, the first one was terrible. Yeah. And look at what it's become now. And it took to the Surface 3. I'm not saying that people shouldn't be critical. I'm saying people should actually look at it and go, all right, you need to fix that. That's fixable. And not go and say, okay, it's trash because of this, because because what it is that I'm seeing, because what it is I'm like, if it's trash, after like what Unbox Therapy did today is not a full stress test, but it's a stress test nonetheless of going 1,000 times, folding it on camera. It's nothing. It still works. And he didn't have that issue. Again, this is going from 3 people peeling this device, peeling the display. 3 people. To me, I don't care about that. I'm concerned about the 2 that just didn't work.
So that's
my concern. I'm like, Samsung, what's that issue?
So let's go there. So let's go there next, then, because I'm about to go there next. And number one, I'm not talking about the future. I'm talking about the issue with this particular unit that, as we see it right now, I know it's going to get better in the future. I'm not even worried about that. I'm worried about what's happening right now. But let's go to the next issue, because the peeling wasn't the only issue. Dieter Bond had some type of debris into his hinging system, and the phone stopped working. And then the guy over at CNBC had it just stop working, and he was using it normally. So what do you say about that?
That's it's true. I agree. Let me see what happens with that. But again, to me, it's in the margin of error. That's 2 out of 100, right? 3 were user error with Samsung's error. It was user communication. So as far as I'm concerned, the only manufacturing issues are 2. And it's good it's happening now. Let's have it now than it's somebody buying it. But see, that's the thing. That's the thing I don't get with the tech community with this issue, is that you should be happy it happened. Like, guys, Samsung, go fix this. Not death to the fold. It's trash.
That I agree with you. Like, it's good that it's happening now. Like I was saying earlier, that's the whole point of putting these phones in the reviewers' hands, so that we can figure out these issues now so they can get fixed before they go to mass consumption.
Oh no, I definitely agree with that. But I hate the culture and the annoyance of death to a piece of tech that could be good down the line because you don't have it, or because it's not in your price point.
Oh, that's
just because. But that's what happened, and that's what happened. That called it. When it gets to the mainstream, it just looks like this is just a piece of tech that shouldn't be there. When we know that this is something that could change the way we look at devices.
Wait. So are you saying that YouTubers do that? Because usually that's fanboy activity, and YouTubers don't really partake in that too much. But are you saying that
we do that all the time? We're fanboys. Look, we love. Look, we're all fanboys of certain products, companies, devices. Let's just tell the truth. I don't like Apple products. That is just not my thing. And it's fine. It is fine.
Hold on. You can say you don't like Apple products, but I don't see you like making videos about Apple stuff, they should die, blah, blah, blah.
No. I don't make those videos, but at least I know my bias. We all have biases.
Right. Oh, absolutely. I agree. Right.
But the thing is that when we get into this discussion, when something comes out, it's like, because what I just saw with the Fold was because I saw like there were people who made constructive criticism and going, okay, Samsung, what the hell is going on? Like, check this out. And then we had people who were like, oh, Fold is trash. Samsung done it again. And you start bringing things where I'm like, you're trying to degrade. To me, it's the technology I'm afraid that people are trying to shove off. And rather not focus on the fact that, look, you know what? Out of the 5 issues, 3 was communication peeling, 2 were actually proper defects. So Samsung, find out those defects, fix those defects, tell us what those defects are. That's what I want to see from the community, and not this like to me, it felt like I was looking at high school kids yelling on Twitter yesterday. That's what I saw. And I felt like, to me, I felt a little bit saddened in my own community. I'm like, we haven't grown up. And then, and this is the biggest thing. And I said it today on Pocket Now. I said, I am very disappointed that The Verge dropped a review today.
Ooh. Okay.
They had the device since Monday.
Yeah,
Let's be honest. They did.
Just to let you know that Twitter is high school. It is.
I'm more disappointed in people defending a multi-billion-dollar corporation that failed in its communication, failed in its PR, and didn't account for in a $2,000 device, simply putting in your pocket. And the same people were the same people that raked Bengate, like raked Apple over the coals in Bengate. And I'm not biased in the camp for either because I'm agnostic. I buy everything. I buy both brands. The only other like brand that I really believe in for phones besides Samsung and Apple is OnePlus at this point. But because I think OnePlus speaks to the average consumer, I just don't think it's acceptable to push the narrative of consumerism because we want to innovate technology to accept the lower standard from a company that can more than afford to do proper R&D and testing. Because I've worked in corporate America long enough to know that there was an employee who said, hey, I think before we let this go public, before we put this in the hands of the press, before we put it in the hands of readers, there's got to be an employee who said, hey, we're not done. This isn't ready. We're rushing this tech to market. The future is awesome. It's not here yet. And somebody decided, nah, let's go ahead and let's put out this $2,000 device for the affluent consumer. Because by the way, yeah, it's not for the average consumer, but there's plenty of lay people with money not as smart as Marquez and Lou and the tech community. And the thing is, those people, just because they have disposable income, don't deserve a product that's not ready. That's just the truth. And a company, when they make a mistake, they should just own it. The butterfly keyboard is an abomination. I'm disappointed in Apple. I'm disappointed that all of us keep enabling, as a tech community, because we are futurist, we keep enabling corporate greed and consumerism. Where does it stop? Where do we hold people accountable? And then I'm really disappointed in the tech community for raking smaller channels over the coals because, well, you didn't get the device in your hand and you would have a different opinion if they sent it to you and everything like that. That's the community saying that all of us could be bought and that all of us will have nicer opinions if we get free shit. And that's trash. That's high school. So I'm more disappointed in the way the community has acted than anything, but from a completely different place. But also, how's it going, everybody?
Roberto Blake, y'all don't know already.
No, Roberto, I agree with you. I hear that point. I think for me, yesterday was just, like you said, it was. I was watching high school. I really was watching that whole predicament, and I had people tell me like, "Oh, you've been bought by Samsung." And I was like, "Look, guy, I like the device. I'm not going to tell you to buy it. I'm not telling you to buy it. I'm telling you that there are things that I want them to even fix." Mm-hmm. But when people asking me, is like, okay, what happened? I say, look, when I got my device, they told me, hey, they didn't tell me about about a screen or anything, but they did tell us, okay, look, this is a device, you can use it, you've got some time with it, and then we'll take it back. I was like, okay, cool. But then again, I'm always careful with everything I use.
Yeah.
So I have a very different mindset, in doing things. And when this started happening, first thing I said was like, oh man, PR man, you should have. I even texted PR. I was like, maybe guys, you should have actually just told people that this is what this is in the first place. That would have solved half of your problems right now.
I think that they needed to do much more accounting for normal use in the real world. And I would prefer if these companies invited people from the community to actually help with product development. Put people under a damn embargo or NDA or whatever and everything like that. But put it in the hands of people who both handle tech every day, but also people who aren't maybe as technical, that might be influenced though, so that you have an NDA that are, big enough to hold accountable financially to where it's like, hey, this is somebody who's not going to just, make a video while under embargo. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, do something so that you have because if you can't put it in your pocket and have like lint or have loose change rolling around without it being a problem, and it's a $2,000 device, that's really messed up, because to their credit, the build quality for dropping it is really good, because my friend Sarah Dici dropped it on concrete and it worked. Like, with any phone in the modern era, that's a miracle. Like, that doesn't shatter or break or something like that. But the idea that something in your pocket could just render this thing useless if it gets up under there or something like that, that's troubling, because I would hope that a company that put out a device that costs $2,000 isn't doing some outrageous markup on it to where they're like, oh, we didn't throw any money into R&D or into developing this thing or into the manufacturing to make it more durable or to make the build quality better or to make it built to last. Like, I don't want to believe that of a company. So I would hope that they release something that can handle everyday occurrences. You know what I mean? Like, if you can drop it on concrete, it should be able to handle whatever's in your pocket.
I think so.
I mean, does that make sense? I'm asking like the question, or like
My bad. I mean, I definitely agree. I think it should. I haven't had any issues in my pocket. But then again, I'm just judging from my own point of view.
But you're careful.
At least
but you're careful.
I am careful. I always have been. I do agree on that point. I think it's one of those things that you're definitely right. The ability to add, people who can help with some of these issues ahead of time, because if this is something where you have people who are knowledgeable enough with tech on a regular consumer basis, where I'm thinking, that person would have used this device in October, because probably the last amount of time, like for a month, and go, okay, guys, before you go into full manufacturing, maybe you want to change this or fix this or do that, because you told me manufacturing starts in December, right? So here you go. These are the changes that we need to make to cover those things. And I think that would make a whole lot of sense for a lot of companies, which
in general, they just don't do it, and they don't think of things outside of the homogenous bubble of what they have going on. Because, I mean, everyone on this panel and a lot of people in the audience can appreciate this next thing. It's unrelated, but let's go to cameras. Let's think about cameras. How is it, for as long as we've had smartphone cameras, that a lot of us can't get accurate skin tones in our selfies? Like, how is that still a thing? Now, granted, I understand, because I worked as a photographer. I understand that the basis of how color science was developed for photography was developed a very, very long time ago, and it was mostly developed in a very homogenous way. And it's even more so for any of the Asian manufacturers. It was the same thing. But how have we not moved past that to readapting how we think of sensors for people with darker complexions, and also for group photos, for doing, I mean, we can do HDR processing, and yet we haven't found a way to combine facial recognition with tonal range in a more accurate way. With all this absurd processing power we have on the back end, you would think that it wouldn't be that hard to do. But why has that problem not been solved? Because it's not a big enough or normal enough problem, and it costs money for people who are, I hate to put it to you like this, people who are making smartphones. Typically, the people in the R&D of making those smartphones don't have that problem.
Yeah, that's pretty true.
That's how I put it. But I think that extends to everything, whether it's the cameras, whether it's hardware durability, like the Bengate stuff. Or I just don't think that people are like, everyone's like, oh, well, don't put it in your pocket. It's like every female I know puts her phone in her back pocket. Like, yeah. I mean,
it still happens a lot.
Like that, because they don't have front pockets that are big enough usually for a larger form factor phone. That's how jeans are cut. Like, sorry, like that's just the thing. So, and then me, I have glasses. So my glasses are in my front pocket. And so and usually I have my glasses in my front pocket, and I usually have my wallet in my other pocket. So that just leaves my back pockets for my phone. Like that's a normal person thing. That's a very normie thing. But you know, they had to have Ben account like the thing.
You were going in and out, man.
Am I going in and out?
No, Roberto is.
Oh, Roberto was cutting out a little bit there.
I froze for a second.
Okay.
You're good, man. You're good. Yeah, Roberto. It's yeah, I don't know, man. It's weird, like the whole color science thing and how it doesn't account for proper skin tones and things like that. That's a little weird. But I want to ask E another question though. I want to get the Colonel's thoughts on brand loyalty, because you do YouTube videos. You've seen it in your comments, bro. These crazy Samsung lights, these crazy Apple sheets, they're shilling over a piece of plastic or metal, whatever the case may be. What are your thoughts on this crazy brand loyalty? Why are people the way that they are, man? What do you think?
We like what we like. I mean, it's human nature, right? We are tuned to certain things. I mean, I give you forget those people for a second, but I give you my own brand loyalty. I mean, I grew up in the 80s. I had my Nintendo. I was always a Nintendo fan. I mean, because of that, my first PlayStation was a PlayStation 4.
Wow.
Let's just tell you how long that is.
Damn.
And you never touched the PlayStation. Even, through the dog days of, the GameCube,
GameCube was so much fun though, man.
The GameCube was fun. No, I mean, they made good stuff, but there was also a lot of good stuff on PlayStation. I didn't touch it. And, when I started just doing more stuff and people were asking me, hey, I had an Xbox because I figured, okay, that would be my console, my second console with any Nintendo console. And, people are like, hey, did you check out this game on PlayStation? Have you checked out this? And I'm like, okay, maybe I should get a PlayStation, right? Like maybe I should actually get into that. I mean, I played games on PS, on PlayStation 1 and 2, but I just never bought one. And that's what happens. So like, because also, again, you think about it too with dollars, right? As much as we like to tell people to experience and expand. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
we got you.
Hello?
Yeah.
No, we can hear you.
I'll be right back because my headset just died.
Okay. Gotcha.
No, I know what that's like though, man. That's a lot of people had the brand loyalty to their consoles, man, because here we had everybody, we had Nintendos going, and then all of a sudden we had Genesis. So you had Super Nintendo versus Genesis, and that was the original PS versus Xbox. And then after that, that's when we started getting into the PS and Xbox days.
Yeah, but I mean, they're brand loyalty and liking what you like, and then they're selling your soul to a brand like these Samsung Knights and these Apple Sheep do. It's out of control brand loyalty. That's what I'm talking about. Like, how do we get to that point though?
Well, some of it is
loyal to your money, man. Be loyal to your cash.
Well, some of it is being loyal to your cash. With a game console system, the loyalty is the average person doesn't have a lot of disposable income. So if you buy one game system, you have to be in that ecosystem of that game system, either because of the exclusives on that console or because you can't afford to you can't buy the other options, and you can't keep buying more games. And these games aren't inexpensive. I mean, $20 to $60 a game. And then, if you decide, God forbid, to splurge on like a special edition of something or, so that is understandable. But then there are ecosystems where that brand loyalty is a matter of, well, I'm already invested. I mean, think about my smart bulb stuff and everything like that. I had to go with Philips Hue just because since I am platform agnostic, Philips Hue is the only thing with the range that works with Google, Amazon, and HomeKit. It's the only one really that reliably works with all three universally. So, but I had the disposable cash. If I didn't, I would have had to pick my lighting setup and my options based on which ecosystem I can afford to be more invested in financially.
I want to say it's a little bit more basic than that, though, because you actually think shit out. I'm looking at it this way of the sports analogy or whatever, right? And I know this to death because I'm probably the biggest brand loyalist because I've been loyal to the Cleveland Browns for the past 19 years.
That's rough.
Sorry, man.
And
I'm sorry, man.
A lot of it a lot of it is pride. A lot of it is it's like being able to say with pride that you suffered through thick and thin when rather than someone else bandwagon fan.
Like long-suffering Jets fans.
Techran,
Right.
you don't got to tell me, man. I'm a Raider fan, so you don't got to tell me.
but people take pride in that. I bet you there's Apple fans out there that's like, look, I suffered through every single thing with Apple, but that's my pride because I didn't switch. I wasn't jumping back and forth in between phones. And you got the same thing with Samsung people that are like, look, I done rolled through Samsung through thick and thin, and that's my pride that I want to use and flex on other people. And that's just a human thing. Beyond tech, that's a human emotion.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay, cool.
Can you hear us though? Can you hear us?
Yeah,
all right.
I get you. Sorry,
I
was
think it gets a little toxic in the tech community as of lately. Like the brand loyalty is a little toxic. It's beyond like faithfulness. It's just like extreme.
Yeah.
It's a little crazy. CJ knows tech is in the building. What's up, CJ?
What's up, bro? How you doing?
I'm good, man.
What's up, everybody?
What's up? CJ, what are your thoughts on this Galaxy phone fiasco, man? What you got to say?
I mean, like I said, I sweated like a couple droplets of sweat, but I'm still staying optimistic. I'm still gonna be one of the Cowboys you send over the hill towards the Indians, and if I come back with arrows in my back, so be it. I have a lot of faith in this technology. I want the technology to happen. So I'm gonna just stick it out, bro. Like whether it's good or bad, I'm gonna stick it out.
I heard that, man. I don't know if you guys are familiar with CJ, but CJ's got one of the better channels that I know, one of my favorites out here. So I don't know if Thunder E and everybody's familiar with CJ is my boy, and he's got some awesome content. You guys,
I appreciate that, Jeff.
Yeah, got you, man.
Well, I see your stuff, CJ.
Oh man, respect.
See it.
Yeah, Thunder E be watching, baby. He be watching. The Colonel be watching, bro. The Colonel be watching.
Yeah, I put on the hat and then I watch it. Scotch.
Yo, Thunder E, I got an interesting question for you, man. Since I see your headphone wall behind you, so I'm wondering, what are your favorite pair of headphones like that you've ever used, man?
A lot of headphones.
And a lot of them.
How rare is that? That's why.
Or if that's too difficult, what are your favorite pair of headphones right now?
I think I can answer the first one.
Okay.
My favorite pair are from a company called Bear Dynamics. They are the TT 1990 Pro.
Oh, you like the 90? I got the 770 Pro.
770 is great.
I love those.
Yeah. The 1990 is more expensive, but it is so well balanced on a lot of just on a lot of frames. Like I use it to game. I use it to edit just because the sound profile is really well balanced all the way through. And the reproduction is so good on it. It's one of those where if somebody asks me, it's like if I were to spend money on just one pair of headphones, it would be those. That's it. And then if I don't have to buy headphones ever again, I'm fine.
Biodynamic get slept on a lot because they don't, they're not out there. They're not the hot chick out there of headphones, but the sound quality on them is just unbelievable. Like the ones I've tried were the 990 Pros and the 770s that CJ has, and I was incredibly impressed. I'm just waiting for a set to drop used right around the $100 boy on a budget can jump in because I can't be affording these $200 and $300 headphones. So I'm just waiting for that good deal to pop up, man. Then I'm going to be in.
Yeah. No, they make good stuff. I definitely like it.
So you said you're a Nintendo fan, but Nintendo, well, I was going to say they're kind of on the back burner, but not really. They got the Switch. So I know you're playing the Switch, but between Xbox and PlayStation, where do you lie at?
Xbox.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, because when I was in college, which was a while back, since Nintendo wasn't big then, I got into PC gaming. Yeah. And I used to play a lot of Half-Life. I used to play Counter-Strike, friends in school on LAN systems. And I think just because Microsoft was able to get online early on, so for me it was easy to jump to the Xbox.
Halo, baby. Halo.
So
what's kind of cool though, man, because I was doing PC gaming as well, and somebody gave me this Xbox One, and I didn't have money to buy a bunch of games, but my games that were on PC through Microsoft, I was able to download them on the Xbox and play them on the Xbox. That was cool. So that kind of threw me off. I was like, well, I wasn't ready for that. That's what's up.
So I got another interesting question from my man Thunder E here. By now, I'm pretty sure you're familiar with what happened with Jeff and Blue. Have you ever had a brand react to you the way that Blue reacted to Jeff?
That was. I'm sorry about that, man. That was just bad. First of all.
Yeah. No, it's good, man. But it was out of pocket, and I felt that I had to kind of speak on that situation. So.
Oh, I mean, whether it's out of pocket or they sent you a device, I mean, it really doesn't matter because, the one thing I tell people, like I've had a few people and like younger kids ask me about doing stuff on YouTube, and I say, look, doesn't matter how big you get or how much notoriety you get in general, is that you're, especially in tech, you're only as good as your word in this business. Like I can say anything about a device, somebody's gonna buy it.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna go, what the fuck were you talking about? Place, and as long as you can defend it and say, no, look, these are the things I saw, that's your word. And for a company to me, that's something where the company should have actually reached out to you and said, okay, so what was it exactly you didn't like, and can you help us out with just giving us a list of issues, so that at least we can improve our product and not attack. And again, to me, that also shows just bad PR, because if you do that, you're just going to, that leaves room for you to go, here's what this company said on Twitter, like not understanding that you are that, stopgap bridge between you and the consumer. And they could actually benefit from actually looking at what you're saying and say, hey, let's fix a couple of things, or let's change something here that just didn't work out, or what are we doing wrong, or even if for whatever reason you were the only one who reviewed this device and for whatever reason it didn't work for you, as a brand you should know, okay, look, there's gonna be people who wouldn't like it anyway. It doesn't matter. You just have to deal with it, but find out why they didn't like it and maybe incorporate that in your next product. So to me, I thought that was just really bad form, and a terrible point for a company to do. And that puts them in a very bad predicament, because it's gone from, what they've done is they looked at you and they said, oh, it's a smaller YouTuber, so let's just somewhat intimidate, this individual. And then let's be honest, man, you flexed. Good flex. And everybody said, okay, you know what? That's it. We're not touching your stuff. We don't want to pay attention to you because you don't know how to treat. Technically, you know how to treat a customer. Yeah. Because if you're treating, you like this, then I wonder how their customer service levels are.
I'm gonna put it to you like this. I saw how they treated Jeff. I'm a 400K channel now. They're dead to me.
Yeah, I hear you, man.
So guess what? The way they treated Jeff, if they ever, and I'm not even like doing like whatever, but like they're dead to me. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, you just lost a customer. You just lost any relationship with a potentially larger channel just because of how you decided to treat Jeff. Like, and in general, it's a marketing fail.
Yeah, huge one.
Yeah, massive. If they would have reached out to me the way, because I've done negative reviews on stuff. This isn't the first time. This wasn't my first rodeo. So, I've had other companies where I've done this and they've come back proper. Like, listen, we saw what you said in the video. Can you elaborate on exactly what you were talking about? Let's have a conversation, which is cool. That's how normal these people should normally respond to this and say, how can we improve this in the next product? Well, let's take your feedback and make something better. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm still suspicious about the email. This person was very personally invested.
It was somebody higher up. It was somebody. Yeah. It was somebody in leadership hiding behind a pseudonym an email saying, oh, that's an employee and everything like that. I've been in corporate before. Like, I know that people do that and everything like that. There are content creators who pretend to have an assistant and the email from their assistant. Like, I mean, there's all or to pretend to be somebody there, to be their own agent. That's a known thing that people do. And then they admit to it later. Like, no, that was somebody, that wasn't some low level employee. There was nobody really held accountable for that. And they thought it would blow over. What they didn't like, but I still want to do that video with you on my channel about it, Jeff. And I don't want to really let it go. I don't want to let it go. I think that there's a lot, I'm not out for blood with the brand, but I think that there's a larger conversation to have.
Agreed.
A lot of trying to, you tell brand, like, it's called polite discourse. It's called handle your internal marketing. And it's like, just say no. Just say no. Because the thing is, I don't as a public speaker and as an influencer, I don't ask hotels for free stays or anything like that. And I, for what I do, wouldn't unless we were doing an integration for something around business travel or whatever, which would make sense. And I would probably broker that through a PR company anyway, or through a contact I personally have. I wouldn't randomly reach out to the brands. So for one thing, I think the influencers are doing outreach the wrong way and not making a connection with somebody that'll handle it right. So I'm trying to teach people about that. But I think the brands fail when they try to shame these like influencers for the hotel thing. And I see Bludio doing the same thing. And there are other brands I've heard not give great responses to people in the tech community. And so and they think they can get away with disrespecting somebody because they don't feel they have a big enough platform
basically
say anything about it or to fight back or to defend themselves. And like, well, we're this brand, like, you know, fuck you. Like, no, it doesn't work that way. Because if you treat anyone that way, what does that say about how you feel about customers? Because again, Jeff paid out of pocket. Jeff's a customer. You're treating a customer that way. And so that's by itself damning. So you can't do that. And again, even if somebody's reaching out and asks for something for free, you can't assume that they've never paid. And you can't assume, like, if you want to be just practical, you don't know just because you look in and say that they have a small following or like, fuck you, you're an influencer. You don't know how connected someone is. If you want to say entitled, work for free, like pay for it, do this, do that, whatever. Or, oh, you're just trash. You just say negative things about us. That's still a bad look for you, no matter how you want to justify it or know how many people say, yeah, stick it to these entitled influencers. Like, you're still disrespecting a customer or a potential customer. You would never behave that way to someone who walks into your establishment. So you can't do that just because it's social media and think it's okay.
Yeah, no, and I mean, even then, I was surprised by the community's response to my video. Like, that to me was very humbling, you know, that morning, because I was not ready for how fast and how wide it reached. And when, you know, the whole squad sharing it, and then people putting it in their community tabs, and then everybody started retweeting it, and I started getting messages from people, and it went way bigger than I had ever expected. And I'm just humbled by the support from the whole creator community, just having my back like that. That was incredible.
Man, Jeff, they picked the wrong one, bro. Seriously. Like, I think they didn't realize, they thought because of your numbers, they thought they were just picking on someone small. But the love, like, dude, you're such a genuine person. There's so much love for you in the community. I even myself was rubbed the wrong way with the way they spoke to you. So it's no shock to me that the community stood up for you, bro. From big to small, everybody was behind you. So they definitely got caught off guard by that.
Right, man. That's right.
They themselves. Seriously. They played themselves.
Nobody messing with my head of security, baby. Nobody.
That's what I'm saying, man.
There's nobody's a nobody. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's a nobody. And the thing is, if you can't recognize that as a human being, let alone as a brand, you deserve to lose.
Yep.
No doubt.
Well said. Yo.
So, CJ, are you getting a foldable phone? Are you getting a phone?
Am I? Yeah, I got a pre-order. And I didn't cancel it. Huh?
You didn't cancel? Okay.
No, I did not.
CJ's ready, man. CJ's in a holding pattern, ready to go.
Dude, since I first got word of this idea in this phone, dude, I've been excited, just waiting for this idea, because I like big screens. So any way to have a big screen in a portable form, I'm all for it. Even with the slight mishaps, I'm still staying consistent. So
is that why you're excited about the phone?
You say what?
Is that why you're excited about the phone?
For the big screen?
Yeah.
Because I like big screens. I like consuming media. I like seeing, like, if I'm gonna look at a photo on a big screen, I carry the MacBook Air around because of the bigger screen, multitasking. That's another point to it. Just this whole tech and just seeing where the future of smartphones could possibly go with this start. I'm all for it. So I'm trying to get behind that, and I'll take a few lumps on the head if I have to.
That's what's up. Yo, Colonel, since you actually have the Galaxy Fold, what is your favorite thing about the device so far in the time that you've had it?
Talking to all my 7 wives at once. No, I will say the media consumption has been the one that caught me by surprise. I mean, I do a lot of mobile gaming on my channel, but I have done more gaming on this device around the same period than any other device I've used in the last 3-4 years. Yeah. Because it's one of, I think when the first video I did was PUBG. I did PUBG and Asphalt 9, and I've been playing PUBG more mobile because there's just so more space. Like I can see more. It's a not weird feeling. I think I like it because when I do that and I can close it and walk away, that it's still smaller footprint for me to carry around. Now, I mean, I said this earlier, and the outside display is just too tiny. It's too small, at least for me anyway. I'll just put it that way. But it's done a weird thing also. It's either forced me to not forced me. I mean, I would say it forced me to jump into the bigger display or just not waste my time. Weirdly, I mean, because we all do the phone check and all that kind of stuff. I'm not saying that that's a good benefit. I'm just saying that's a side effect of it more than anything else. But I've really enjoyed using it because I'm a desktop user. I have laptops. I cover laptops. I don't like laptops as much. I like desktops. I'm doing a new PC build where I'm building the Threadripper 2. Hopefully I'll finish in a week or so. And I like big monitors. So I like that setup. So on a phone, if I can get anything that makes it bigger and easier for me to use, I have this very weird conundrum where I will get an email from, whether it's me responding to like some business emails and things like that. And if it's something important, maybe I'm in my bed or on the couch. I'll leave my couch and come to my desktop and respond to the email. Because of that, I just want to sit down and type on a better platform. And this is doing that better for me than my phone. Now, that's just me because not everyone's like that. That's my own personal quirk. So for me, the things that I like to do have been working out pretty well. And then, again, consuming content, YouTube videos, I have watched I've just been watching tons of content because once you hold it, it's literally like, yes, I can see Jeff's head. Yeah, good. Shiny, But I mean, that's the way it is. I really wish it had an S Pen because I'm a Note user. I love the Note, and if I'm Samsung, and as it develops, just call it the Galaxy Note Pro and put an S Pen and call it a day.
Do you think you can hold that thing with one hand or write with the S Pen though?
See, it's really not that hard. I've got larger hands, so for me it's easy.
Oh, you got bear claws though. See, you're not normal.
So it is, and like using the pen here for me, it would work.
Yeah,
it would work out quite well. So that's what I would like to see on there because that for me just would make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up.
That's what made me switch back from the iPhone XS, went back to the Galaxy S8 Plus, was because I consumed so much content that I was like, I need to head back to that plus the multitasking. So don't get me wrong, because the multitasking, that's all me answering emails while watching YouTube and doing all that stuff. That just works for me, the way that I do my thing. So on a daily basis.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
I still don't understand why Apple hasn't adopted multitasking.
Yeah, dude, bro.
Man, don't start, DJ. Don't start.
I'm sorry. It just I
true.
need to know why.
You know how I feel about this. They need to get it together, man. The wasted space on these iPhone Max models is ridiculous, bro.
Yeah, and wasted processing power because not like the phone can't handle it hardware.
Right. Exactly. It's ridiculous. All right. Anybody got any tech questions? Because I got to deviate while I got my man Thunder E here. So anybody got any tech questions? Get them out now before I deviate. Anybody? All right, y'all took too long. Okay, so me and my man Thunder E spend our Sunday nights the same way, which I didn't notice until last Sunday night, but we spend our Sunday nights the same way. He's a Game of Thrones fan. He does after live streams like I'm doing now. So Thunder E, Colonel, what did you think about episode 1, baby? Let me know.
I mean, it was a good episode. My only thing with Game of Thrones now is that I think, even though I knew, is I didn't want it to feel that fast because I felt like they were going from point to point to point to point to point, which is expected when you're only doing 6 episodes for the season, right?
Right.
But it sets a whole lot of things up. You've got Daenerys and Jon. What's going to happen now that he knows? And if that's going to change that whole dynamic on there, what's going to happen to? I mean, like. At first, I was like, why did everyone leave Bran outside? Like, bro's been out there in the cold forever, like, and nobody brought him some snacks or some juice or something. He was just out there. And then I realized that he was waiting for the clapback. He's like, he's like, I'm waiting for an old friend. He was just waiting and waiting for that. So, to me, it was a solid episode all the way. I think it was the setup they needed because episode 2 goes into a little bit more breakdown between him and Daenerys, and then the build up for the big battle in episode 3. So I'm just sad that it's ending.
Me too.
But then again, you know what? I think the showrunners kind of had the right idea because J.R. Martin said they could have done. He's like they could have done at least 5 more seasons of Game of Thrones. Which sounds all good and dandy. Well, you know how TV shows are, man.
Yep.
You start getting to a certain point. The level of quality really degrades. So I'm glad the guys there were like, we have to finish this. But then again, because they've been working with Disney, and if you're a Star Wars fan and you played KOTOR, Knights of the Old Republic, it's rumored that they are making that as a series for Disney Plus. So I'm excited to see that.
Revan.
Yeah.
Revan's story, man.
Revan be praised.
Yo, you know what? Funny, like I haven't gone back and watched the episode again. I plan on doing so before Sunday, but it didn't hit me until you said that Bran was waiting for an old friend. It did not hit me that he actually meant Jamie until you just said that. I'm like, I thought at the time he was like talking about Sam, but he was actually talking about Jamie that you were waiting for.
Oh yeah, he was waiting for that clapback. He's like, look, I don't need no food. I need no snacks. Like extra blanket. No, he's gonna push me inside and get his trial.
All right, so I got an interesting question though. Like I'm talking to some of my coworkers about this, and they don't think it's a big deal, but I think it could be a potentially big deal. What do you think about the dragons not eating because of the cold? Do you think it'll have any effect down the line, or do you think it's nothing?
No, I don't think it is. I think it was just a setup so that he can fly the dragon and they can go to the waterfall, and you had that moment with them. I think it was. Yeah, I think it was just more the fact that the dragons don't like the cold. That's also another thing too. So.
The dragons not liking the cold is also just a setup for the disadvantage in the battle to come with the undead dragon who has no concerns.
Right. But to that point, Roberto, that means it's going to become a big deal because, like you said, that's going to be a disadvantage because they're going against an undead dragon that doesn't give a damn. You don't care.
I'm saying that all that mattered with that is just saying they don't like the cold. This thing doesn't care about the cold. So it's just setting you up for why 2-on-1 isn't an advantage.
Right. Wow.
And then why it's going to be even. Because you would say, 1 dragon versus 2 dragons, done, right?
They're not at full strength.
Exactly. Yeah. And this thing has immunity. So so that's that's the setup is they've got debuff, he's got immunity. That's all.
That nerf him a little bit.
Yeah, so it's just game mechanics. It's just game mechanics if you think about it.
Yeah. Hey, CJ, do you watch Game of Thrones or you just like, what the hell are we talking about? TJ's muted.
Oh yeah, I had to unmute myself. No, I have not watched it. I haven't gotten into it. So, and things that are addictive, I try to limit. So, like anytime something is addictive to people, I try to like run the other way.
It's a good idea, man, because it's bad for productivity. Trust me.
Exactly.
I like too much stuff, bro. I'm like, I love comic book stuff, man. I love Star Trek and like sci-fi and Star Wars, and then Game of Thrones and fantasy stuff. I love reading books. I'm like, dude, I got so much PC game. It's like, and then I make videos and content. I love testing headphones. I don't have enough time. Like, I need to clone.
So the question is, who's going to take the? No. Who's again? Forget that question. I think everybody will surmise one of those. Who do you think will kill Cersei?
Oh,
Arya's got a contract to kill. Arya's got a contract coming through real soon to kill Cersei, because my prediction is that Euron Greyjoy is going to push and.
Roberto cutting out again.
Roberto, could you repeat that?
So here's the thing: Euron Greyjoy, the guy from the Iron Islands. He's already, fucking Cersei. He's going to push and trick her and leverage her, because he has the Golden Company, into marrying him before they win the war, so that technically he has a claim to the throne. And then simultaneously, I guarantee you, because he's got all this money, he hired a faceless man with a contract on Cersei. And guess who the House of Black and White is going to give the contract? A girl with no name.
Wait a minute.
All right. That fits. Yeah, that fits. My own thinking was because Cersei's still on her list. But my thinking is Cersei's on the list. Jaime is going to die in episode 5, because there's another battle scene in episode 5, and she takes Jaime's face and fulfills the prophecy that her younger brother is the one who killed her. Of course, it's still Arya.
I've heard that a lot. You might have a point. That would be nasty, though. That would just be epic. Yeah,
that's poetic too.
It could be that. It could be that, or it could be that, or it could be that Arya will kill her, but try to give her a slow, painful death.
Yeah,
and Jaime will be forced to kill Cersei as a mercy.
Oh, boo! No! That's too easy, Roberto. That's too easy.
There ain't nothing about that for Jaime.
I mean, it's true. But the one thing, I haven't read the books. I do just reading the wiki. Is he is going through this journey of redemption in the books, right? And we haven't really seen it in the show. So I think we're going to get some of that this season. Because even this episode, his face when he got to Winterfell was like, "I'm here to do the right thing." Yeah. He turns around, he sees Bran, and he's like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, they also built him up I think they built him up too much for Arya to kill him, and she doesn't have a reason to kill him. He's not on her list. Yeah. Here's the other thing I have for that, though. Jaime will make it almost to the end, or possibly even to the end, because you guys are familiar with the concept in film called Chekhov's gun, right? Mm-hmm. If you set something up, you have to pay it off. If a gun appears at the beginning of the movie, it's going to be used by the end of that movie, right? In season 1, they talked about, and Joffrey chided him with the fact that he hasn't had anything written about him in the Book of Deeds, of heroic deeds. And he said, "Oh, there's still time," And his father said, gave him the same shit. And he also talked about not dying meaninglessly. And that's also why he charged the dragon last season, was he wanted his death to be that he died in a blaze of glory, charging a dragon. That's what he wanted to be written about him by his death. So he has to do something mad heroic, because they has to pay off that setup. He can't die meaninglessly.
I think he saves Jon Snow. I think he does something where Jon Snow. Daenerys. Oh yes, you know what? You're right. Yeah, I think he saves Daenerys in episode 5 that gets him killed, but he's where the realization is I'm doing this for Westeros, right?
And it comes full circle because he killed the Mad King.
Exactly.
Also to save Westeros. Also to save Westeros.
Yeah.
Ooh, we got some.
That is true. That actually makes a whole lot of sense.
So it bookends it. It's paying it off. You have to look at season 1 to see how this season's going to end.
Yeah, because you're right. Even the first episode mirrored a lot of things from season 1.
Yep.
Just that intro, the marching of the army and all that. So yeah, man, it's gonna be a crazy 5 weeks.
It really is. Here's another question. So we know that Yara let Theon go to rejoin Jamie and them and fighting the White Walkers. Do you guys think that Yara is going to just let Theon go, or is she going to come in and try to save him at the end of the day?
They always come back for each other.
Yeah, I think so. I think she's going to be making a return.
I think so
That's
too.
probably what she said. Yeah,
And it's also supposed to mirror how not great the relationship between Jamie and Cersei and Tyrion is. Like the Lannister brothers always have each other's back. It's like Yara is a mirror to how not great of a sister and a human being Cersei is. Yeah. Because Cersei would never compromise her leverage for her family, even though the Lannister name is supposed to mean everything according to Tywin. Like she never does everything in the name of the family, but everyone else does. And there's supposed to be parallels to show why she doesn't deserve to live and why she doesn't deserve to rule and why these other people are more deserving.
What do you think, Thunder E?
No, I agree. I think she will come back unless, of course, they just don't want to explore that, and it's not as big for the show. But I think she'll show up. I think that might be an episode 5 thing, or even I think episode 6 is we find out who sits on the throne and we solve that last puzzle. Whoever's left.
Episode 6 is epilogue.
Oh, okay.
Episode 6 is epilogue. You know, they have to tie up all the loose ends. Episode 3 is the rip our hearts out like thing. And then
who do you think dies in episode 3? I mean, people have to go at this point.
Oh yeah.
In episode 3, I'm predicting, honestly, the twist that we won't see coming is that by the end of episode 3 or in the middle of episode 4, they kill Bran in some cruel way. And I think in episode 3, they have to kill off Varys and Melisandre to pay that off. I think they kill off Jorah in either the end of episode 3, just because Daenerys has to take a loss.
You can't kill the 3-eyed raven like that. Not that quick.
That's the point. Game of Thrones is supposed to curb stomp us.
No, but still, he's like the one who sees everything coming. How can you kill the person that can see everything coming?
More at a disadvantage to make us really think the stakes are freaking high.
Okay.
That's true.
All right.
I mean, unless of course he saw it coming, but he also knew that that's what had to happen. AKA
that's an in-game type stuff. That's a
Doctor Strange scenario. But it's Game of Thrones, though. You're right. They are going to throw something at us, and we're going to be like, why?
Yeah, right.
I think in episode 2, Grey Worm dies.
Ooh.
There's a lot of talk that he might die and become a white.
I think that's possible, and I think
that's possible. Yeah,
and I think that's what'll be heartbreaking because I think that's another one of those just twist the knife on us things. But the other reason I think he has to die is because they showed a moment back when him and Missandei and Grey Worm were like all hanging with Tyrion. And they have to pay off the looks that Tyrion and her were giving each other. And they have to pay off the fact that Game of Thrones has set us up to understand that smart people live and brave people die. Smart people live and brave people die. My prediction is that Jon and Daenerys have a kid, Lyanna Stark Targaryen. She's going to get the Iron Throne at the end. Tyrion, though, has been set up this entire time where, remember, in season 1, Tywin sent Tyrion to King's Landing and he said to do what? And then he said to rule. And so Tyrion is going to be regent. Tyrion is going to be hand and regent. He's already hand of the queen. He's going to rule because he ran King's Landing like a boss. He did everything right. That's been set up and that's been proven. Yeah. This time he's going to do it again. And he's going to have Missandei to help. And they're going to be together and they're going to raise and teach the new Stark Targaryen, everything she needs to know, because Game of Thrones also has had this theme of women's empowerment. And this whole time, everything we've watched is Samwell Tarly, the new head of whatever. They're going to change the rules and he's going to be able to have some authority. It's him telling the story to Lyanna of where she came from. That's the whole bookend of this entire thing, in my opinion. I might be wrong, but that's what I'm going to bet money on it tomorrow. Like, I've got money.
Yeah, I like that. I like that path.
No
I think that
doubt.
makes a lot of sense.
So here's another interesting thing that I think it could have happened. I think that after we found out how Daenerys approached killing Samwell's family, I think that Daenerys is going to die. What do you guys think?
I think she's going to die at childbirth.
I've heard that too. Okay.
I think that is part of the prophecy from season 2, from what the witch told her. I think she has to die from that. I also think it bookends Jon Snow's own birth.
Oh yeah, that's true. It does.
So like, I think that they have to do the mirrors. Like, these are all storytelling plot narrative devices that are they're things that, you know, if you think about it, it's how this stuff is done. Even though Game of Thrones subverts some of that, they also do stick to some of these formulaic stuff. So
yeah.
I think that they have to go there. And I think that it has to be tragic because he's like, George said it'd be bittersweet. What's more bittersweet than they beat the White Walkers, only for like maybe Jon to die in battle and Daenerys to like die in childbirth plus of a broken heart, or for even Jon to initially survive that and then like see his child born, but then die to some greater betrayal. Like, that's how they can rip our hearts out.
Oh, Roberto, they can't kill them both off. That's just evil, man.
Oh yeah, no, they're both dying.
Bittersweet.
Oh yeah, no, I completely agree. I think they're both
Justice for everyone else but them.
Ooh.
They have to pay for the mistakes. They have to pay for the mistake of being good people and for being brave.
Exactly. Jon Snow paid for it once already,
and he didn't learn.
Well, here's the thing too, though. They have a thing about if the characters that survive are the ones who go through a metamorphosis of their character where they progress or evolve as a person by changing. And the ones who don't change are the ones who end up going. So that's the thing where I don't see either of them making it because they've stuck to their guns through 8 seasons.
They're ideologues in Game of Thrones. If you're an ideologue, if you refuse to change, you die. Yeah. Sansa changed. That's why, despite the fact that she changed, we hated her in the beginning. She changed. She got some steel in her in a very unfortunate way, but she learned, and she learned to be smart and clever and a politician and play the game. And she learned to like shed herself of weakness. And Arya learned the same painful lessons through her losses, despite everything they've lost. Jon Snow and Daenerys are both stubborn as hell and refuse to change who they are. They've been too damn consistent. And the thing is, like, Tyrion let go of his bonds and attachment to his family. He murdered Tywin. He learned, he murdered Shae. Tyrion learned. Tyrion learned, and Tyrion navigated and was like, you know what? I'm not going to try to appeal to anyone's better angels. I'm not going to appeal to people's honor. I'm going to take people as they are. I'm going to look at who they are and believe them and act accordingly. These other people think that their titles, their heirs, their lands, their noble cause mean shit. And that's why they're going to die, and they deserve it.
Roberto just said again, you know nothing, Jon Snow.
You learned nothing, Jon Snow.
Roberto is like, they deserve it.
I'm just being ruthless about this. I'm like, this world that they're in is dark as hell.
Yeah,
like,
it's not
Breaking Bad. It's like, you know what? Like, you haven't figured this out yet? Like, come on. Woo. You guys are trying to be like the White Walkers aren't even evil. They represent chaos. They represent They represent punishing us for hubris.
Very true.
Wait. Did you just say the White Walkers are evil, but they left the little kid up there and I got him barbecued at the end of the episode? What?
I mean, the kid's already dead. He was one of his underlings, technically.
Right.
So, yeah. I mean, the Night King now he's just showing his strategies. He's flexing. He's like, all right, I'm not just going to run through. I'm just going to show you how I will decimate all of you step by step all the way through. So, because if he wanted to, he could have. It's not like the Army of the Dead need rest, right?
Right.
So he could have just come through with his army, which is probably twice the size of what Daenerys has at this point.
Yeah.
So.
And the other thing is, like we were saying earlier, once he kills the people in Daenerys' army, they can turn them into their army, so they can like kill them and turn them. It's like, damn, dude.
How do you think the Golden Compass is going to play?
Golden
Compass. Sorry. Yeah, it's a compass. My bad.
They're gonna get annihilated. That's how I think. What I think.
I know. I mean, unless they want to take that Targaryen angle with them again.
They can be bought. They can be bought. Do you know what's going to happen?
But they're known to have not negated on a contract. They either finish or you're dead.
The not big enough. The contract dies if the person who made the contract is dead.
Oh, Euron. That is true.
I mean, basically, my thing is, if they fight against the White Walkers and Jaime and them, they're gonna get annihilated. They're gonna get annihilated. There's no way around it.
Maybe we'll have to wait and see.
Hey guys, I gotta roll out. Thunder E, Roberto, and everybody else in chat. Love you guys, man. Good seeing you guys. I gotta roll out because we gotta do dinner. So
thanks, Jeff. I appreciate you, bro.
Thanks for having me in, man. I'll catch you guys later, man.
Yeah, man.
Who do you think kills the Night King? Because I have a weird theory about that.
I mean, I feel like it's Jon Snow. It should be, but I don't think it is, and I just don't know who.
What? It has to be Jon Snow. Who else could it be?
If they don't kill him, it would be interesting if it's Beric Dondarrion, because even though it would be a change from the books, because the thing is, he's a different form of undead, because what you have is you have the Great Other as a god fighting the Lord of Light. So if you think about it, if Beric Dondarrion gave his last life force to the Night King, doesn't it cancel out the Night King? So that'd be an interesting twist of a way for them to do it, is that light, like my last spark of life, can undo your undying. Like the Lord of Light, the representation of fire, the Great Other, the representation of ice. If he goes that route, alternatively, Jon Snow could do it, but instead of it being with his Valyrian steel sword, it could be that if the Night King tries to take his life, it could actually work the opposite way, because Jon Snow was raised by the Lord of Light.
Yeah, that is true. Huh. Oh, yeah, man. It's going to be interesting how this all plays out.
It really is.
Who was I thinking of character-wise? What's his name again? Blue Eyes.
The wildling dude?
Yeah.
Torment.
Yeah.
Giant's Bane.
Yeah. Do you think he survives?
I don't think so.
Just for some fan service for the people shipping him and Brienne, because the writers are into fan service.
Yeah, they are. I'm thinking that too, though. Just because you could tell, just that scene was written for fan service, where it's like, they have blue eyes. He's like, I've always had blue eyes.
Yeah, but the fan service is stuff that you get out the way at the beginning. Like, once the season progresses, you don't really care about that. You just got to finish the story how it's supposed to be done, really.
I think it's a continuous.
These guys.
Service,
By the way, Clegane Bowl.
Yeah, give it to me.
What is hype will never die.
Yes. Give it to us. We deserve it.
You're right.
Yeah. So what do you guys think will happen do you guys think either of the remaining living dragons will die, or will they make it?
Oh, yeah. It's gonna end up being one dragon left. And that's right. I think both dragons die, but eventually both of them are able to
asexually reproduce. There's dragon eggs. There's gonna be dragon eggs in Winterfell.
Oh, yeah. There's going to be more.
Oh, wow.
But I think those 2 dragons will take down the frozen dragon. But yeah, we're not gonna have dragons at the end of the season.
If Daenerys or Jon dies one before the other and both dragons still live, Tyrion will be a dragon rider.
Yeah.
I thought, isn't it the only Targaryen can ride dragon? That's what I thought.
And Tyrion was the only other person. I mean, it is rumored that his mother might have been
Was raped by Aegon Targaryen, and he might actually be a secret Targaryen.
Oh.
There's a prophecy that says 3 heads of the dragon. The dragon has 3 heads. So there's that aspect of the prophecy. The only other way that maybe that pays off in the prophecy is if the Night King is technically a Targaryen, which I don't think, because he didn't have any of the features to be a Targaryen as best as
I thought he was a Stark, or at least was one of the first men, which also are
the Starks. Yeah, he would have that if that Night King is the original Night King, he would have been a Stark. But according to the books, which are somewhat different than the show, the current Night King in the books is a Stark, and the Night's Queen was supposed to be a thing, but that didn't happen. But that didn't happen in the show.
Wasn't she the one that seduced
and turned him? Yes.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So that's a whole nother thing that's specific to the books, which is why the books will still be interesting when the show is over. So I'm really looking forward to what they do with the lore. So there's a couple of ways they could go with that. And again, I don't think Tyrion needs to be a secret Targaryen in the show to make his character any more interesting or any more valid. He could be a dragon rider specifically because the dragons, he's the only other person the dragons allowed to be close to them or to touch them. And so it could just be that they deem him worthy.
Yeah, definitely. I think so. And his character, I think, that doesn't need that extra layer in there.
No.
It's just because of the way it's been written, the actor you have, I think you already have a character that is
special enough for us to accept that.
Yeah, for us to accept that. So there's no need for us to go that far. The most would be just because they could always explain that because he spent time with Daenerys, spent time with the dragons. He's also caretaker of the future queen. That kind of thing can be excused at least at some point.
Yeah. Bran could technically be the 3rd head of a dragon because if he wargs the Night King's dragon, then because remember there was something that said, "Oh, you won't walk again, but you will fly."
Yeah. That's an interesting one. If he wargs the Night King's dragon,
he's the most powerful warg who ever lived. So what, as far as a feat of magical ability, that would be the one to do.
True. Definitely. All right.
Man.
We have to see. But I have to bounce, my friend.
All right, man. I appreciate you coming on. Welcome back anytime,
thanks
bro.
for having me, man. Roberto, it's good to see you again, man.
Good to see you, man.
All right.
It's been fun, man.
Take it easy.
Take care.
Viper, who's in your Deadpool for the next episode?
Oh, man. Well, the only people that are really going to be in danger of dying are those at the wall. Because the White Walkers are right there, so it'll have to be Torment or the other guy or somebody that's right there with the White Walkers. So I don't know, but honestly, I don't even know if they're gonna everybody's saying the big battle is gonna happen in episode 3. So I don't even know if we're gonna have any type of battle in episode 2. Although it seems likely. I mean, we only have 5 episodes left, so they got to start getting stuff done. So I don't know. It's interesting.
If the big battle is in episode 3, then who's in your Deadpool? Because I think that Ed from the Night's Watch, I don't see him making it, man.
Oh no, dude. Yeah, a bunch of the Night's Watch are probably going bye-bye. The wildlings, if any of them are left, they're going bye-bye. Where's Brianna? Brianna? Oh no, she's at King's Landing, so she might be all right.
She's at Winterfell.
Oh, she's at Winterfell. Oh, okay. Yeah, then at some point I think she's gonna go. Yeah.
I think Brienne and Jaime are going to reunite. Let me say, so tomorrow, the next episode, this weekend's episode is basically the trial.
Yes, of Jaime. Yeah.
Of Jaime Lannister. And we know he has to live because we know that they have to pay off, him dying heroically in some way.
Yeah, but
And he also came to fight. So they're gonna be
yeah,
like, fine, you can die to the White Walkers.
you would think so, but I mean, like we've been saying all night, it is Game of Thrones. You never know. But I'm with you, man. I don't think they can kill him. He's too valuable. He's too valuable right now. You can't kill him.
Yeah, both to the plot and also in general. And
They need-
and also he's leverage against Cersei, like, which is, and then also they don't want to piss off Tyrion, like, because that's a practical measure. So like,
I don't think they care about pissing off Tyrion.
I think you need I still think you need Lister. like at the end of the day, if they're not stupid, then he's still, again, one of the most clever minds in Westeros.
Oh, absolutely.
So they kind of do need him.
Oh,
like,
I'm not saying they don't need him. I just don't know if they care about pissing him off.
They all like him too. So like,
did you see what Sansa said to him? She's like, "Yo, you're a dumbass."
but she still thinks kindly toward him.
Oh, yeah, she just doesn't think highly of his intelligence
at the moment. But she doesn't.
Right.
But Sansa also thinks she's smarter than everybody right now. Sansa's feeling herself after the Battle of the Bastards.
Yeah, no doubt.
I would argue, rightly so. Like, but still.
I'm excited, man. I was waiting for you last Sunday, but you didn't show up.
Yeah, like life happened.
Yeah, it happens. It's cool. It's cool. But yeah, you know, I'll be on Sunday night. I'll be right back here live streaming, doing it again. Gonna be fun.
Yeah, no. I did watch the replay of your stream. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I caught it right after I got home. So it was like, okay, because like I missed it. So I was like, I missed it, but I'll tune in. And I liked what you guys had to say. It was good stuff.
Yeah, I didn't even know that Thunder E does the same thing on Sunday nights after the episode. He does a live stream too, so that's pretty cool.
Okay.
Oh man, oh my god, I'm so excited. And then we got Endgame coming next week, Avengers Endgame. Oh man.
What do you think we can expect to see in Endgame?
Some superhero gonna die. Maybe more than one, or maybe just be one. I don't know, but somebody's gonna die.
Cap for sure.
Yes, I think definitely. And I think it all goes back to the original Captain America where he jumped on the grenade to sacrifice himself.
Uh-huh.
And it ended up being a dub, but I think this time he's actually really going to sacrifice himself and he's going to die.
I'd agree.
Yep.
I mean, I think it's his time. And then we know that like Hemsworth's not Hemsworth, Chris Evans. Chris Evans himself said that like he's not coming back.
Yeah,
unless they pull him.
Yeah, he don't. I think he said he's done with the character, or he's done with acting in general. So I think he's moving on to directing.
Yeah, retired, going out on top.
Yup. But man, wow, yeah, Game of Thrones is going to be exciting. Can't wait for Sunday night. And then we got not Captain Marvel. We got Avengers next week, which is going to be exciting. What a time to be alive in April.
I mean, by the way, I don't think I asked you how you felt about the Captain Marvel movie.
I loved it, man. I thought it was a great movie.
Yeah, you didn't feel like do you feel like the criticism was warranted or?
No, not at all.
Yeah, like I don't really care about Brie Larson's politics. She's a good actress and everybody has their beliefs and good for her for like standing by hers when it's easy not to as an actor, Yeah,
and I think I'm with you. I don't really care about the politics too much, but some of the stuff that she said was completely taken out of context anyway. So I'm like,
I agree. I think there's a lot of that going along. I think that that taking people out of context is the new clickbait.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, I would agree, man. I would agree. Wow, what else? So we had Apple bend the knee to Qualcomm this week. How was
I think bend the knee, Tim. Like I think that was. I'm sorry. There's a part of me that takes a little bit of pleasure in that. I'm sorry.
You are not the only one. You are not the only one. Although in actuality, it was a win for both sides. Really, if you really think about it. I mean, there was really no losers in that situation, except for Intel.
Yeah, like I mean,
except for Intel, that's about it.
Intel, but like I think that it's interesting, and I think that one of the things that again, I it's really weird. I do take some pleasure in that. I don't.
Look at you with that grin on your face.
I mean, I'm sorry. It's just the truth. It's that like I feel that I feel that with Apple, the fact that they can be still leveraged is comforting. Like
Yeah.
the fact that like they're not all powerful is actually comforting. Like, you know? And I think that it's good for fair play if you think about it, for them to not just always be able to get their way, and to remember that they rely on technology and other companies, to do something that they can't, or to specialize. And I think it's good for all of us that that's the case, because as long as that happens, we're going to get better quality products, because people are going to be forced to negotiate and to really consider whether they can do something all by themselves, or whether that's in the best interest of the consumer instead of what they want as a company. So I mean, I think that's interesting. I also don't think I think it's like Ace Lucero, and to the point we were talking about with the movie stuff, was Hollywood elites cramming liberalism down everyone's throats. I disagree with that. I don't think that's true. You have plenty of people in Hollywood that are conservative too. It's not talked about, but that's always been the case. There are a lot of people of different backgrounds in different industries and places. But the thing is, I mean, that's no better than say that that's more force they want down through. Hollywood can't do anything but give us entertainment. I'm not worried about what actors in Hollywood think or what they want to preach, because we could just not watch them, or we could just not listen. It's more concerning when you have government doing things. And so I don't care if Hollywood wants to be liberal or conservative or whatever. It's entertainment. I can vote with my wallet. I can shut it off. There's not a lot you can do about the government punishing people through taxes, which they did. So, the government levied taxes that would specifically affect blue states, which is much more concerning and much more troubling than what some actor or actress thinks. So I think that that's not a really great argument to be made. I mean, we're not here to really go that way, but I'm just a rational person that identifies probably more as an independent, with some things I like in libertarianism, especially from a tax standpoint or from a business standpoint.
So further your
technology, people think that way.
To further your point about Apple not having complete power, there's talk about Apple eventually being able to make their own modems, so they won't need Qualcomm per se. But even if Apple gets to that,
not specialist.
But even if Apple gets to that point, they will still need to license Qualcomm technology. They can't just not
patents. You can't get around that.
Correct. So even if they make their own modems in the house, they still got to go through Qualcomm anyway. So it doesn't really matter.
Exactly. And as much as people in the YouTube community especially are not always thrilled with the nature of how some of this copyright and trademark stuff works out, I'm kind of glad that that these companies have to realize that I have to play ball, I have to play nice with the other companies, because at some point I'm going to need to license their technology to deliver for the consumer. And I think that puts us in a better position in terms of fair play, because they should be at the behest of the market. You know what I mean? They should be at the behest of the consumer, which is why I think we were so mad about the Samsung thing, because where's the accountability? Who's looking out for the consumer?
Yeah, not Samsung. Not right now anyway, it seems. But,
also, who in the tech community is advocating for the consumer? And then the tech community doesn't even stand for itself, in the sense that they were critical of all these YouTubers because they didn't get the phone and just felt like it's people punching up. And they have to remember that these mid-tier creators are fans of these million-plus creators, and they don't want to attack them for clout and for views, but they're thinking about it from a position that's closer to a regular person than somebody that has a lot of disposable income, and is also used to having a working relationship with the brands. And I think it's unfair to say, well, you're just salty because you didn't get sent the device or you didn't get invited to the event. I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's a valid criticism.
Yeah, I hear this a lot, like not really on my comments, but I just hear it around the YouTube space where you can't talk about our device because you don't have it. Yes, the hell I can. It's called opinion. You can either deal with it or don't. Listen, I don't really care what you do, but
consumers do that all the time.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. You don't have to. I don't need a device in hand to tell you how I feel about it. How I feel is how I feel.
Yeah, and the thing is, I mean, an opinion like that can be based in common sense because you don't need, because someone say, oh, well, then it's not fact-based, so I don't care. It's like, well, no, there's a certain line where the common sense can play in, and you don't necessarily need any type of scientific analysis to know what the deal is. That's just obvious. And I think one of those obvious things is that if something in your pocket can make a phone inoperable or lose any of its abilities, when phones are designed to go in your pocket, that is a design flaw.
That is a problem, yes. And even I know Thunder E said earlier that there's not like 50 review units out there, but like more like 100. But even still, that's 5 defects out of 100 units. That's still a higher than 1% failure rate. And you don't want to bring a product to market with a higher than 1% failure rate. I don't care what it is, man.
I personally wouldn't. I mean, can you imagine if I like charged people that kind of money for like let's say I charged people that kind of money for like a course and something wasn't working. Could you imagine me being able to get away with that?
No.
Have people defend me or defend the course? Like no. Nope. Like I could never do that. So why aren't we holding a multi-billion-dollar like company to an appropriate standard of saying, hey, you know what? We are in favor. We want this technology. We want you to get it right. Go back to the drawing board. And like, hey, maybe don't rush to market. You don't have to be first. Like, I think that Prosser had some excellent points about the price of being first.
Yeah, no doubt. Like, it's like I said in my video last night. I'm not really bashing the phone. I want Samsung to delay it and clean it up and then re-release it. Like Jason said, they should cancel it completely. Now, I'm not saying that because I think they can fix these issues, but I think they should delay it and then release it when it's right. But the way it in its current form now, it's not ready for prime time.
I'm fine with them taking chances. I'm not fine with them damaging their own thing by like failing publicly and then making people rightfully skeptical about the technology because the thing is, this wasn't about taking chances. They could do that in a lab and it would be fine. It's not about a fight against innovation. They made their bed and need to lie in it in the sense of you messed up. This wasn't about innovation. This was about you being first to market and being able to one up Xiaomi and everything like that when you shouldn't be scared of Xiaomi. You're Samsung. Why the fuck are you worried about what Xiaomi's doing and whether they're going to beat you to the punch? That's irrelevant. You know, it's like, why are you like, you know, don't be soft. Like, I mean, to be real. So I don't buy the argument of it's the small YouTubers fighting innovation. The small YouTubers have been crying for innovation more than anybody. So I don't buy that argument. And I don't think anybody, and a lot of them have said they're fans of the idea. So I think it has more to do simply with the fact that you need, if you make a mistake like this, to not say just arbitrarily, I mean, oh, it's user error. The apologist for Bengate did the same thing. Like, and that wasn't right then. It's not right now.
No. And that's why I was kind of fighting with Thunder E when he was trying to tell me that the plastic film peeling off or whatever isn't a manufacturing defect. And I'm like, oh, yes, it is. Because just the fact that it exists and you can do that makes it a manufacturing defect. Like, if the plastic is integral to the phone's integrity, it should not be in a spot where you can peel it off. Like, that's a manufacturing design flaw. That's not good.
Exactly. Again, and then saying, oh, user error. You know what? If I spend $2,000 on something and you make something very easily for me to mess up like that, you're not really enticing me to keep spending $2,000 with you if you're gonna blame me for that.
Yep. Like I said last night, that should not be on the consumer. That is on Samsung. No, that's craziness. And even
trolling, I don't think trolling means that they don't want innovation, don't want the technology. I think that that's just having fun.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, even
memes about the phone. I think making memes about the phone is just like, hey, let's not be so damn serious about everything.
Oh, people make memes about everything. That is what that is. But like I was saying last night, even if the peeling of the plastic is a user error, it is still a point of failure. So it still counts against Samsung's manufacturing process because it's a point of failure, regardless.
We make things. You know what? We make things bulletproof. And I don't think first generation is an excuse. There are plenty of first generation products that don't break.
Yep.
There's plenty of first generation products. Like, you want to talk about first generation products? The Game Boy was a flawless first generation product, and that was like 35 goddamn years ago.
Oh, that video Marquez did today. That show, I shouldn't even call it a video. That show he did today was amazing.
Yeah. Yep. That retro. Yep. I'm all about it. Like, I love, like, this is a YouTube original I can get behind.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Cobra Kai.
We've had this conversation before, Roberto, and this is what I've been complaining about, and I'm glad that YouTube is finally throwing their support behind the homegrown creators, and look what we got.
I've been saying it, man. I'm saying, like, I'm a believer again.
I'm like, it's cool because I heard that they ordered 6 shows from him for that series, so I'm excited to see what he comes up with for the rest of the episodes. That should be pretty good.
Yeah, I'm really curious about like how far back he'll go in terms of retro tech. I imagine we're gonna get like a really nice boombox. I think we're gonna get a throwback to like Do the Right Thing.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Radio Raheem style, boys.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
that would be. Because anybody can watch that
audio file, I don't think he cannot do that.
Right. But did anybody watch that original today from Marquez and laugh when he tried to open the Game Boy cartridge out of the case? That was hilarious.
Yeah.
That was funny.
I mean, I'm playing the DS right now. I'm playing Pokemon.
I see you over there doing your thing.
Yeah. So like, I mean, it's real. It's like I'm really proud of what he's managed to do with this, and I feel like with like being prominently featured in YouTube Rewind, I think Marquez was the winner of YouTube Rewind.
Woo! I don't know if I call him a winner with that video being the most disliked video, but yeah.
He's a winner because he became more notable in the broader YouTube community.
Yeah, you're right.
And he repped, the tech community, and like Marquez and the animation channels came out on top. It doesn't matter if it was disliked; it was still one of the most watched videos on YouTube and one of the most discussed topics in YouTube. Attention's attention. Views are views.
That is true. And Tech Level Mama says she still has a Game Boy Color and Game Boy SP. Wow.
I would buy that. Like I've been looking. I'm down to throw money at I'm down to throw money at old school retro consoles right now. I'm not kidding. I'm kind of in this weird gaming phase again where I'm just like buying everything and collecting again. So I'm down.
I thought you asked Marquez where he got the Game Boy from. He was like, I'm not telling you.
I'm like, I'll pay whatever it costs. I don't even care. Like how much? I don't care. I don't care. Whatever the price is,
Roberto said, I got the Brink truck. Just show me where to drive it.
I'm like, what do I do? How do I make this happen?
That's right.
What do we do?
Just tell me. Yo, Eric, Easy Computer Solutions. What's up, bro? How you doing? So what else is going on? We talked about brand loyalty. We talked about Apple versus Qualcomm. We talked about Foldgate. Talked about Bluetooth. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool that you want to do a video with Jeff about the whole Bluetooth situation.
I do. I want to do it kind of like the video I did with Swoop about her thing. I'm not gonna be able to do it in person with Jeff, so we're gonna do it remotely. But it's gonna be very similar.
Yeah, that's really pretty cool, man. Because what they did was just not cool.
Yeah, and again, there's some broader topics smaller influencers are still people and they're still customers, and it still shows and demonstrates unprofessionalism on the part of the brand, because the brand is held to a standard in terms of their communication. So like from that standpoint, even beyond the fact that that's just wrong to treat anyone that way, it's also wrong in the sense that, this is either an existing or former or potential customer. Like that, you can't do that. And you should also, just from a self-preservation standpoint, as a company, you should know better. You should know better than to put a communication like that on the record.
You really should, but I don't even think they care, to be honest with you.
But the fact that they would think that they can not care is arrogance.
Yep.
And that's also it's another way from my point of view of saying, so you don't care about your customer if they're not a big enough influencer or a big enough YouTuber or a celebrity or a big enough name. That's not right. And I don't think that customers agree with that. I don't think that anybody agrees with that being the right thing to do.
No, but unfortunately, that's a sad reality that all of us as like smaller influencers go through. I mean, most brands are more polite about it, but they really do care about that sub number. If it ain't high enough,
fine. Like as a business owner, there are people I turn down to because I'm looking at people to do brand deals for Awesome Creator Academy, and there are people I've turned down for that and have said, well, will you do affiliate, because then it's paid for performance, and so you get paid in proportion to in spot. And people like, to me, thank you. Like, okay, like, you just have to be respectful and professional about it. It's fine to turn down people and to not want to give free product. It's fine to not want to work with somebody. It's also fine to say, hey, I don't agree with the way that you presented, our product, and I don't think you got all the facts right. It's fine to say that. YouTube content creators say, hey, I don't think you represented me well in this video, or you got your facts wrong.
Right.
We've known people to respectfully handle criticism.
Mm-hmm.
So why can't a brand respectfully, like, again, I think Jeff is right. I personally believe it's somebody at the company that's high up that got in their feelings that were, how dare you? Because I'll tell you what, when I worked in corporate America as an employee, I never defended the brand like that. Like, sorry.
Yeah, that does seem kind of weird how they came to the brand defense like that. Like you said, most like average employees don't give a damn about the brands they work for.
Or at least not to the point of being defensive, and
right.
not to the point of risking anything by communicating in that way.
Right, because the irony in the response is that if you really care about the brand like that, then that type of response will potentially damage the brand. Like, why would you do that?
Exactly so. So, like, from that standpoint, it doesn't make sense to behave that way.
No, it does not. But they learned their lesson, because that response was quick, and it was quick as hell. But oh my God.
Well, again, I'm hoping that our video, it's not about shading Bludio, and I never root for the downfall of anybody's business that is, not the one that's not scamming people or whatever. I never root for the downfall of people's business, I think, in general, most of the time. So, like, and I don't have any ill will toward the hardworking people who work there, because I'm sure there are hardworking people, but like Jeff didn't have any ill will either, but he also had to stand up for himself, and he had to show people that this is what happens to companies feeling entitled to believe they can treat people this way. And if they'll treat him this way when he paid out of pocket, do they care about you as a consumer? And will they take fair criticism about their products and correct the issues with it, or will they lash out? And I think that that's an important conversation to have.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know you recently moved. How are you enjoying your new dig?
For the most part, I like it. I don't like that I'm a little out of the way from certain things in terms of like a drive or from what can be delivered to me. I can't get Amazon Fresh, it looks like. So that kind of sucks. but I can get Postmates and other things. There's a Publix nearby. That's a little bit more expensive than, say, going to a Walmart. I think the farmer's market is a little further away. So, like, there's little inconveniences of that. But in terms of space and enjoying having so much more space and then having somewhat of a separation of having a nice, small, cozy little, like, bedroom through there, and then having my office completely be an office and having everything I need, and having more options. Obviously, I'm a fan of that.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. And on that note, I think we're going to actually wrap this up. I told you all I'm going to try to make these live streams shorter because they've been
watching the replay.
Yep, because they've been crazily long and they don't really need to be 6-7 hours long. So I think we are at a good point here where we can end it for tonight. Roberto, you got any last word before we get out of here?
Yeah, I mean, I think my last words is if you're out there and you're watching this and you're a content creator, don't be afraid to stand up for yourself in a professional manner, to people in the tech community on either side of the fold gate thing. Just try to have respectful conversations with each other and see where other people's point of view is coming from one way or another. Because I understand wanting technology to be pushed, but I also understand wanting to hold brands accountable. So I just think we should just be able to have conversations. I mean, we didn't all agree on this panel. So I think the fact that we could do it respectfully should set an example to people big and small of like how they can have a conversation. And that's what I like about what you do with Friday Night Vyp is that you allow people to have the conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. I invited Thunder E to come on here tonight, and I knew that we were pretty much in different sides of the Galaxy Fold coin, but it was good to talk to him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Travis, what's your ETA, Travis? Are you coming like soon, or are you coming like 15-20 minutes soon? Because I can wait if you want to come in, man. But if not, then I'm gonna get up out of here. So let me know what your ETA is, Travis. Let me know. But what else is going on? WWDC. Oh, that's the other thing that I didn't talk about. Okay. Okay, Travis said he's logging in where I want to wait. All right. So before we get out of here, WWDC is coming in a month and a half. I think a little over a month. June 3rd, and we got some leaks about what might happen in iOS 13, and most of it is on the iPad side, rightfully so, because we got these beefy, overpowered iPads, which aren't really like laptop replacements as Apple is trying to market them out to be. But what I'm upset about right now, though, is that it seems like they're not going to really do too much as far as refining iPhones and making iPhones more productive. I have complained over the past year about how my iPhone XS Max, this gadget right here, isn't fully like optimized to take advantage of the 6.5 inches. And I was hoping that in iOS 13
to take advantage of its processor.
Yeah, that too. And I was hoping in iOS 13 that would change. But these early leaks would seem to indicate that there will be very little change with the iPhone and iOS. So I'm kind of disappointed, man.
I'm disappointed with everybody's software-wise because I think that our hardware is so overpowered and they do nothing with it, and they keep beefing up these specs for what? They keep beefing up these specs for what? For nerds to just keep talking about them? Because you're not doing shit with the power. So what's the point?
Seriously, like these iPhones have like the A12 Bionic chip. I mean, the iPad Pros have like an A12X Bionic or something like that. They can do whatever we need them to do. Like, there's no reason why the iPhone shouldn't have true multitasking.
The iPhone is more powerful than the computer that Jurassic Park was edited on 25 years ago.
Wow. Yeah, exactly. Right. And
so what the hell? Like, why isn't the software up to par to do? Shut up, Siri. Like, see? It's like they can't even get that right. They like Siri's been around for like what, 6 years now, 5 years, some nonsense like that. And she's still stupid. Like, yeah. So, like, how hard is that? Like, geez, like, do better. Like, it's disappointing. It's like, and then you do all these iterative bullshit and you can't get air power right. But then ecosystem, and ecosystem's a valid argument. Fine. But it's like, is that it? Is that it? Don't we deserve better? We're paying an exuberant amount of money. Like, for fuck's sakes, do better.
They really should. Like I said, I don't know why I don't have true multitasking on my iPhone XS Max. Like, it's inexplicable. The hardware is there, the chipset is there, everything that I need to run it like I can run my S10 Plus is there. The iPhone chips are better than the Galaxy S10 chips, but the S10 can do more. Like, why? Why is this a thing?
Because hardware is so good, it doesn't matter.
Damn.
Hardware is so good, it doesn't matter. And Apple has, frankly, not for a very long time, given a crap about software beyond optimization and integration. That's where they end at software. But let's be very real. They're not that great at software design if you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, we still got the same like static row of grid of icons we've had for like the past 10 years, more or less.
That's UI UX design, which I would argue they're okay at. Johnny Ive was all right. Like, he was very good at that. Like, I'll give him credit. He was very good. And he did push the envelope on that. Hasn't innovated in a while, and maybe they need some fresh blood. But what
you're talking about iOS as a whole, okay.
But here's the thing. Not even just iOS. Look at tvOS. tvOS should be much better than it is.
Yeah.
And there should be a native Safari browser. Why is it even on desktop? Can't do 4K playback in YouTube because it hasn't been optimized, and they haven't done it in years. And yet at the same time, you don't have native browsing in terms of Safari web browsing for Apple TV. That's stupid.
I agree. I don't understand what's going on with that. That makes no sense to me.
So yeah, it's like that. Little things like that are annoying when you were a formerly like $1 trillion company. Like, I mean, shit. What why?
The same question I asked about multitasking on my iPhone. Why don't I have it? Why? I'm right there with you, Roberto. Why?
I think with multitasking, they want to make an argument for the Apple user is like focused and blah blah blah, and like I don't buy that. It's that you guys didn't build your software architecture in such a way that would make it easy for you to move to that without having to start from scratch, and you just don't want to do it. And you have unlimited resources, and you can hire enough people and whatever, but I think it would just throw off whatever schedule they have in place that they've outlined for the next 5 years way too much for them to entertain that, which I think is a bullshit excuse.
Well, I will say in their defense on that I don't think they could completely retool the hardware because that's pretty much their tagline.
To retool the hardware, I think.
I mean, not the hardware, the software. I meant. I don't think they can retool. I don't think they can completely retool the software because that's their tagline. It just works. If you retool the software, now people have to get used to a brand new software, and they have to completely relearn iOS or wherever they want to rebrand it to.
They had to relearn all the damn gestures when they decided to change the form factor of the phone to accommodate the bullshit ass compromise that was the goddamn notch.
Yeah, but that wasn't that drastic of a change. So you are now, if you're talking about retooling the software, you are talking about a drastic overall relearning of how to work iOS, and that completely flies in the face of I
don't think it has to be that bad of a retooling though. Like I don't necessarily agree. I don't think it has to be that big of a overhaul just to get that in. And there's also other things that frankly they could stand to fix in iOS anyway.
Hell yeah, you ain't lying.
So like I don't see that as a good enough excuse. And you know, people like and they made us get used to all kinds of shit. They made us get used to not having goddamn ports in the MacBook.
Dongle life,
right? Which was just a scam to get money. Like, I mean, to save money and to get money. Like
the scam to get money was removing the headphone jack so they could sell AirPods. That's a scam. Oh my God.
Truth.
They're like, oh, we have courage. We're moving to a wireless future. Yeah, so you can sell AirPods.
Viper, the man about truth in advertising.
Yeah, let's sell some more AirPods because they're $150 and we'll make a ton of money off of that.
Mhm.
All right.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, it's just nonsense.
It is, but hopefully there'll be some surprises in store at WWDC this year. I'm not gonna hold my breath, but
What are you looking forward to at WWDC?
I really want to see what they do with iPhones. I mean, we already know what they're trying to do with iPads per se. They're trying to make it more. They're trying to make the iPads a little bit more productive, which is cool. Hopefully, they'll get the iPads a little closer to being an actual laptop replacement, like they keep marketing, even though it's not even true. But it seems like they're trying to move closer to that direction. But my concern is iPhone, because like I said in my video a week or so ago, I don't really care about iPhone 11. What I care about is iOS 13 as it relates to iPhone. I want to see what changes they make with iOS 13, because as Apple is moving over to a services business model, it is important to get the software to a point where it can like run these services like to the best of their ability. And that is iOS 13. So that's what I'm looking at, and that's what I'm looking for.
Do you think these services are things like that people are going to really want, considering the abomination that is like Apple TV Plus?
No, to be honest with you, no. I use News Plus for like the first week, and I haven't used it since.
Yeah. Also, I'm like, I just don't think that the people of the internet age like really want to pay for these like news sources that frankly many of them don't even trust anymore.
And I usually, well, for me, I don't have to pay to get my news. I go to TheVerge.com or BGR.com and I get my tech news like that. I don't really need
my worldwide news. I go to Philly D.
Or that too, or YouTubers, right?
Getting ready to put out the Rogue Rocket website and everything like that. I'm gonna have my news source. I'm gonna have my news website.
Yeah, yeah. But I'm a different case though, because I'm mainly interested in tech news, and I mean I got Taylor for tech, I got Front Page Tech, I got Dolo Tech. I mean I got people for that. I'm good, so I don't need News Plus for that.
Faithfully honest tech. Tech so honest it hurts.
That too, that's right. Ugh. But on that note, we are going to get out of here now because I think we are good. We have covered everything I wanted to cover tonight. Thank you all for joining in.
Bed at a reasonable time, Viper?
I am. I'm going to give you all your evening. Ain't that crazy? I know, right? But thank you all for listening in the live chat or listening in the live stream. I appreciate you all for showing up tonight. Thank you to my man El Jefe Reviews and Tech Rants, and my man Thunder E, the Colonel, and Mr. Roberto Blake. Thank you guys for joining me on the stream tonight. Of course, we will be back on Sunday night right after the episode of Game of Thrones for another episode recap live stream. So make sure you come back for that. But until Sunday night, this your boy Viper, the man about tech. You know where to find me. So come back for more.